Welcome to the final night of the high school football season in West Virginia. It's time for the Class AAA title game between Princeton and Nitro here at University of Charleston Stadium, Laidley Field, in the shadow of the state capitol in the capital city of Charleston. And we're expecting a great game tonight. Jeff Jenkins alongside Greg Carey. And let's start things off here. Then we'll talk about the other games coming up, and we're excited about this game we have tonight. We've got good crowds here, but I think tonight, I was outside just a couple of minutes ago, and it was hard to get in here tonight. So Princeton and Nitro, I think, is going to bring a big crowd here tonight for the AAA crowd.
Yeah, I think that was expected, but it's nice to kind of see it come to fruition. As you mentioned, it's about 15 minutes ago or so, kind of look outside, there was a lengthy line to get in, and both schools very well represented. If you remember 2 years ago, the kind of crowd that Princeton brought to Wheeling, the year they played the AAA Championship against Martinsburg. I mean, this is obviously a much closer trip to Mercer County, so nice to see the Tiger faithful come out in droves, and obviously Nitro being nearby, and a school that is generally very well supported through their athletic success. So no surprise to see Nitro well backed in their side.
We're going to get into that matchup, take a detailed look at it coming up in just a couple of moments. So join us tonight. We're excited about this one coming up. We've got 3 in the books. We've got 1 more to go. Stay tuned right here for the AAA title game. We're back at Laidley Field, and that is the huge crowd that Princeton has brought tonight. Good representation for the Tigers coming up from Mercer County. And they're hoping for a little better result than Bluefield had, although Bluefield, of course, played great. But you know this Princeton team and this Nitro team, Greg, they can score a lot of points. They've been able to do that all year long, but maybe surprising to some people, they both have improved defensively over the year.
That's, to me, the primary reason that both these teams are playing tonight. I think offensively, especially inside of Princeton, you know, they've been good enough to reach this stage, if not win on this stage, in that phase, on that side of the ball for several seasons now. But the defensive improvement, maybe a little bit of discipline improvement, and even some more toughness and tenacity. Certainly, the Tigers have displayed a lot of resiliency throughout what's been an unbeaten campaign to this point. And then you look at Nitro, they've lost 1 game by 1 point. So, you know, they're within a play and literally a point of also being an undefeated team. And it's been a tremendous postseason run. And you know, it starts with a lot of the play of Malachi Thompson at receiver and Deron Parks up front. We know about the Division I prospects. And, you know, you got to see this team several times, I know, and defeating Capital 28-7 in the postseason opener after they struggled somewhat in the regular season and won that game by 2. I thought that was pretty indicative.
Well, then what a performance by Malachi Thompson. We're seeing some highlights there against North Marion. 6 catches, 265 yards, and 5 touchdowns that he had in that game. So Princeton will have to do a good job again against him tonight. But also, Nitro features a dual running attack too. They do a really good job running the football, and we know on defense, they get penetration on defense. They've got a couple of big. Xavier Patterson is one of the guys up front that does a good job getting tackles for loss, and so they're tough to handle both offensively and defensively.
They are. I'm very interested to see how that running game that you mentioned, that dual threat, Chris Radcliffe and Tyke Porter, those are 2 explosive tailbacks that get involved somewhat in the passing game. They also are weapons on special teams, and saw a punt return for a touchdown earlier this season in the loss to Herbert Hoover. So, you know, you got to be aware of those guys just as much as you do a Malachi Thompson or some of those Division I names that you've already rattled off. And certainly Nitro's going to try to get all their weapons involved, and the more that they're able to, certainly will play into better hands of the Wildcats.
Yes, because, I think they're going to have to score, obviously. You know, they're going to have to score. They had to score last week against a very fired-up Chapmanville team, but then in the second half, they just got separation, right? I mean, because they could continue to score, they ended up getting enough stops against Chapmanville, and they won pretty handedly in the end in that semifinal round game. When you think of Princeton, another big strike capability, and it goes, number 2 is really good here for Princeton.
Oh, yeah, this team is tremendous really in all phases. Special teams has been a major asset for the Tigers all season. And then how about the defensive improvement that you noted a little earlier? Did it play out last week or what? I mean, a 27-0 victory against Spring Valley. That's a power run team that loves to just kind of keep it between the tackles, chew the clock up, and you know, maintain possession. That's the exact kind of style that Princeton was eliminated on last season when they fell to Herbert Hoover. The Huskies largely played what they thought was a better physical brand of football, and it worked out. Well, Princeton has greatly improved in that area. The front 7 and front 8 at times of the Tigers has gotten significantly stronger. They've gotten a little bit older, and with that more experience that's really paid off, which pairs great with Brad Mosser because anytime he touches the ball, he's capable of taking it to the end zone.
Let's talk about Chance Barker for just a second. He has career numbers for Princeton. Almost 9,500 yards in his career, passing the football, 115 touchdowns, 37-3 break as a starter.
Yeah, he is certainly one of the more accomplished players in the history of that program, to say the least. And he's got the luxury of throwing to some outstanding receivers, not only this season, but in years past, and again this year. And he just has a firm understanding of what he's asked to do. He doesn't try to do too much. He makes the necessary throws, and he's going to try to just take what the defense is giving you, and that's worked out very well for him, and if he can do it again tonight, he'll have his career in very strong fashion.
Okay, they talk about Mosser for me. Gotten a lot of people's attention this year, both offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Yeah, and just a tremendous player, is utilized in a lot of different ways, whether it be on some jet sweeps or quick throws, and they'll take some deep shots to him as well. Opposing teams may not want to take deep shots. It'll be very interesting tonight to see who Mosser is lined up on, if there is a bit of a matchup there with him and Malachi Thompson, because we know if there is, Nitro still obviously has to throw the ball to Thompson. How effective that'll be will be very interesting to see how it plays out.
And Greg, you've made a good point about both of these teams. You said it in the open that both of these coaches have been working more on discipline, not committing penalties, because both of these teams have been known to commit penalties.
Yeah, and could be a very big deciding factor in kind of how things swing tonight, because we expect this game to at the very least be competitive, and maybe Princeton's a slight favorite coming in at undefeated and with the better seed, but what Nitro has showcased, and specifically by defeating a previously unbeaten Chapmanville team by 3 touchdowns last week, I think that got a lot of people's attention.
And what has also been impressive about Princeton, the program, is Nate Tanner is their 3rd coach in 4 years, and they've been able to win basically through those coaching changes.
Right. Coach Tanner's been, he's been here before. He's been here in Wheeling with Parkersburg South only 3 years ago when they lost to Huntington. So not only for Princeton in the case of their 2023 loss in the state championship, but Nathan Tanner at a different program. It's a little bit of 2 stories of redemption tonight if the Tigers can close the deal.
What do you think's the key here tonight? So what are we going to see? They're pretty evenly matched in ways. What do you think the key is here?
Yeah, I think first and foremost for Nitro is going to be the ability to run the ball. They're going to have to hold their own at the line of scrimmage, and they're going to have to mix both of those tailbacks and Tyke Porter and Chris Radcliffe into the game plan, whether it be through all rushes, maybe some screen passes or quick hitters on the outside. On the side of Princeton, I just think it's kind of sticking with what you've largely done. Don't try to do too much. Don't let the grandest of stages overtake you. Get the ball to Brad Mosser, get the ball to your playmakers, let Chance Barker do what he's done largely throughout his career, and make sure you play with some discipline, because penalties and playing behind the chains is going to be problematic if it occurs for either side. Well said. I mean, if you had asked me yesterday morning which of the 4 games on paper was the most evenly matched, I think I'd have picked this one.
All right. We're looking forward to it. It's Nitro and Princeton, the last game of the high school football season in West Virginia before a large crowd at Laidley Field, and we'll be happy to bring it with you. The guys are coming up next.
The final football game of the 2025 season. We've got a great matchup tonight in the capital city of Charleston. It is Nitro against Princeton. And good evening from Charleston. I'm Kyle Wiggs, and I'm joined by the voice of high school sports in West Virginia, Fred Persinger. And Fred, first of all, good evening to you.
Good evening, Kyle.
We've had some thrilling games so far. We've had some unbelievable individual performances, and we expect the same tonight.
You know, we've had 2 games that were decided by 7 points. The other game by much more than 7, but I would suggest that game was just as exciting.
And we've got 2 of the most productive and most exciting players in the state of West Virginia to focus on tonight. Malachi Thompson, signed, sealed, and delivered to the Mountaineers, but he's got 1 more high school game to play.
He does indeed, and I know he's looking forward to it. I talked with some of the coaches earlier this evening, and Princeton is just ready to go. They remember the last time they won the title game in 2023, and it didn't end the way they wanted when they got beat by Martinsburg, or by Huntington rather. So again, they know what it's like to be here. They're 13-0. They want to take it back to Mercer County.
Malachi Thompson for Nitro, Bradley Mosser, an incredible speedster for Princeton. Fred with 44 touchdowns. He's dangerous in all three phases.
Well, Brad Mosser is described as a beast on the field. That's what he is. And I mean, he gets a lot of help from that offensive line. But again, when he gets out in the open, look out, you can catch him.
Princeton and Nitro to decide the Class AAA State Football Championship, the final of 4 title games from Charleston. We've got the kickoff coming up next. Princeton and Nitro tonight. Third member of our broadcast crew down on the field, Jeff Jenkins.
All right, we're with Coach McKinney. Coach, what kind of week of practice has it been? I'm sure your guys are ready tonight.
Yeah, it's been a great week. They've worked hard. They've been well focused, and we're happy to be here. And let's get after it.
All right, congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach Boom McKinney, and he's ready to go. Fred, they introduced him as James.
Yeah. He's not used to being called James. That's his real name, but Boom is what he's been known as for a long time. He can't even remember. It was going back when he was a little boy, and he said he was always going through the house making a lot of noises, and he said his mother would hear him come, here comes Boom again, and that's how it stuck. But he's in his 5th year as the head man at Nitro High School, and again, they've got 1 title, and that goes back a long time ago when somebody by the name of J.R. House was playing.
That guy with a record 10 touchdown passes in the game. Was also a great baseball player, of course, in Major League Baseball as a coach to this day. Belcher to kick it off for Princeton. It goes through the end zone. It is a touchback, and nice weapon there. Jake Belcher, the junior, blasted that through the end zone. So Nitro won the toss and elected to receive. So we'll see this Nitro offense. They average 165 yards of rushing, 257 yards of passing, 422 yards of total offense per game for Nitro.
This is our 4th game, and it's amazing to me the number of kickers we've seen able to put it in the end zone.
This offensive line anchored by North Carolina recruit Deron Parks, 6'5", 350 pounds. Ian Duffy is the quarterback. He's set to take the shotgun snap. Nitro with the field spread. 3 to the left, single receiver right. And they're up in press coverage. And we've got whistles that blow this play dead. And they didn't get the snap off in time. Let the play clock run down.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Very first play of the game.
The official in this ball game, Larry McCloy. Larry is the clinician for the SSAC. And by making him the head official in the state. So good crew calling this one tonight.
First down and 15 for Nitro. Again out of the shotgun. 4 wides. Back the pass is Duffy. They're after him. He gets rid of the ball. And the pass is caught for a gain of first down to almost the 40-yard line. Malachi Thompson with his first catch tonight, his 60th on the year.
White Klein in on the stop for the Princeton Tigers.
So Thompson right over the middle. A first down for the Nitro Wildcats. 24-yard gain.
How unusual is it to go to someone like Malachi? Huh?
Now a running play. Second play from scrimmage. And Ratcliffe, they had him hemmed in. And the stop is made after a very short game.
Raymond Price in on the stop for the Nitro Wildcats. White Klein was there as well.
Second down coming up for Nitro after that 2-yard gain up over the 41-yard line. Just underway. Princeton, the number 2 seed. Nitro, the number 5 seed. Ratcliffe to the quarterback's left. Again, twins to either side. Snap back to Duffy. Duffy throws right. There's another catch for Malachi Thompson. He's brought down right at the first yard, at the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it's going to be just short of the first down. The officials have yet to spot it. Now they do. They eyeball it, and they're going to measure.
It's close. It's very close. Unlike you, where they spotted the football, it looks like it's just a little bit short.
So the first measurement of the 4 games, the 4 championship games, all right.
Very talented team, both of them. Princeton, 13-0. They stretch the chains and
First down.
by the nose of the football.
So Malachi Thompson with 2 grabs already, 31 yards.
The Nitro Wildcats 12-1. They lost that one back on September the 12th by 1 point at Herbert Hoover. 15-14 the final score in that game.
Couple of first downs on this drive. Nitro on the move, just shy up midfield as they restart the clock. First possession of this contest. Ian Duffy, the senior quarterback. And there's a tackle for loss as the handoff went to Porter. And the play in the backfield by Kaiser, the defensive tackle of Princeton, the tackle for loss.
Yeah, Kalen Kaiser was in there just behind the handoff. He was there right as the handoff was made, tackled low, and got him to the ground.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13 coming up. That is Burnett, receiver to the left. Malachi Thompson wide right. Snap comes back. They throw it deep down the left side. Going up, there's contact, no flag, incomplete pass. Intended for Burnett. And Alex Cox, the sophomore on the coverage, was right there with him stride for stride.
J.Lee Burnett had a shot at it, but it was thrown to his backside. He almost had to do a 360 to try and find it. It was just a little overthrown.
Played very well by Cox. 3rd and 13 for Nitro. Wildcats with a diamond formation. Trips to the left. And they flex out Radcliffe as well, all the way to the numbers. Radcliffe is open, but they throw across the middle. And that pass is complete. It'll be a first down. As he's down at the 43-yard line, and that's the first catch of the night for Schaefer.
Yeah, Luke Schaefer just cut across. And a good catch by Schaefer as he was going down. That ball touched the dirt.
Slightly behind him. He got his hands under it. Looked like the nose of the football may have touched, but it's going to stand. It's a catch to the 43-yard line of Princeton. Snap comes back. Duffy throws right and overshoots. A leaping Malachi Thompson that time. Incomplete.
Malachi was open on the far sideline as well.
And that was the 4th down play, so the ball over on downs to Princeton.
We got to believe a ball like that thrown by a veteran quarterback had to just slip out of his hands because it is cold trying to grip that football.
Overshot Malachi Thompson on the 4th down play. So Princeton has it for the first time in the scoreless contest. They take over on downs at their own 43. Chance Barker with some unbelievable numbers. They pitch it back. And running with the football, this is Cox. Cox gets free. It's a first down for Princeton as he took it into Nitro territory down inside the 40-yard line.
He moved by Alexander Cox. He saw there was nothing on that right side. He reversed, went to the left, got by the blocker who tried to help him out, wasn't going to make it.
Princeton with tempo, slashing up the middle. That football came out. Was he down? No signal yet from the official. They're going to talk about it. Nitro came out of there with the football. And the officials converging at the 31-yard line. It's a turnover. Ball to Nitro. Princeton fumbles it away. Nitro forcing its 24th turnover of the year. Stumbling forward, that was Mosser. The elbow hit, the ball pops out, and we're going to have our first challenge of this AAA State Championship game.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be reversed.
The ruling on the field of a fumble is under further review.
It took them a while to make the decision, and that's where I'm certain Boo McKinney or check that Nathan Tanner said, hey, maybe we want to take a look at that one. They get 2. Nathan Tanner's used the first of two.
So the turnovers reviewable now, including muffs on kicking plays that resulted in the ball going over to the opponent. So they'll take a look at this one. They're likely going to see, like we saw, Bradley Mosser's elbow hitting the turf and that ball popping out of it. So a very smart challenge by Nathan Tanner. Did not take long at all. Larry McCloy back out to the hash marks.
The ruling on the field has been overturned. The runner is down. It'll be second down in the dead ball spot.
Yeah, good call. It's what you love about replay. Get it right. That's what the officials want. Certainly that's what the teams want. Just get it right.
Right elbow hit the turf. That ball flew out there. And Princeton will maintain possession. Second down. As you heard the referee say, at the 31-yard line of Nitro. Scoreless game. Clock is running here as the Princeton offense retakes the field. Cox in the backfield along with Barker. Mosser in motion. And the give is to the tailback on the play. That's Cox. He's driven down, but not before he takes it to the 25-yard line. And that'll move the chains for Princeton. First down as the Tigers go tempo. Snap back to Barker. High snap. He handles it. He'll run it himself. He dives forward to the 21-yard line. Gain of 4 on that play for Barker.
Anyone that's seen the Princeton Tigers this year know they like to use Chris Radcliffe a lot. They have not done that so far in this game, but again, everything that Alexander's doing is working.
Here's the snap, handoff Mosser around the left end. He gets stood up, took a pop, and he goes out of bounds. And that hit was administered. The defender, Brown, stood him up. Malik Brown, one of the leading tacklers, 74 tackles for Brown on the year, 4th on the squad. It's a first down run, though, for Mosser. First down, Princeton. The ball at the 15-yard line. Clock stopped as he went out of bounds. Keeping an eye on Mosser. He's a slot receiver to the right. Snap comes back. Barker's going to run it himself. Big hole. Barker takes a whack at the 5-yard line. And goes down there. So Princeton again over the football quickly. Going tempo here. That'll be first and goal from inside the 5. Snap to Barker. Hand to Mosser. Mosser pushing forward, and they drive it back. It'll stay inside the 5-yard line. Antonio LaRose, the 3rd leading tackler on the team, pushed it back.
We've seen this Princeton team a lot, Kyle, over the last 3 years, and they've had a bunch of good quarterbacks even in that time period.
Second and goal from the 4-yard line. Princeton trying to score first here. Get the play from the sidelines as they slow the tempo here. Play clock at 12 seconds. Tigers to the line. Mosser, solo receiver to the right. Snap to Barker. He's going to run it up the middle. Barker down at the 2. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal. Using Mosser as a bit of a decoy there. They put Cox in motion. And the quarterback Barker ran it himself. 3rd down and goal for Princeton. Full house backfield. Hand it off to Mosser. Mosser gets hit. Spins to the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. Brad Mosser. Touchdown number 45 on the year. And Princeton scores first midway through this first quarter.
It's kind of a wild game, but they snapped the ball directly to Mosser on that.
Mosser ducked inside. Landed on his back. Just inside the end zone.
Stop made not in time by David Hill, and the point after, James Anthony on to attack. James Anthony Meadows.
Out of the hold of Barker, the quarterback. That kick is up. The kick is good, but we've got a flag. Flag down on the near sideline. Princeton has scored first. Mosser took it in. The officials will talk about it here.
The offside on Nitro.
Yeah, it looks like the extra point's going to stand, although it's a long discussion here.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, half the distance to the goal. We'll replay the try.
All right, they're going to take the penalty.
Well, since it's a dead ball, penalty, so they'll take it. Now, do you go for two? Certainly Nathan Tanner will discuss that. You get a half a yard closer, but
6:23 to go in this first quarter. We'll see what Princeton decides to do here with the second opportunity. You got a guy with 45 touchdowns on the year. Give it to him, see if he can get it in. But it looks like the kicker's going back out there.
yeah, Nathan Tanner went up to the official just to make sure that he had to take that. But being a dead ball penalty, that wasn't the choice he was going to get.
So Meadows back out there to kick. Already booted it through once. It'll move up slightly. Again, Chance Barker, the quarterback, to hold him. Snap is good, hold is down, that kick is up, and it is good. So Meadows 2 for 2, but it only counts as 1 point. 6:23 to go first quarter. Bradley Mosser, his 45th touchdown of the year, giving Princeton a 7-0 lead over Nitro. Brad Mosser, career touchdown number 78, a short run. It capped a 9-play, 57-yard drive as they went tempo through most of it. 2.5 off the clock. And Fred, one thing that you don't have to worry about the first 13 games, Princeton got a break. If this was any other game this year, that would have been a turnover on Mosser. But they review it in the state championship game. It gets reversed, and Princeton is the recipient of some good fortune there as they kept the ball and went down and scored.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point, Kyle. And again, that's why you have those challenge flags. Now, as we mentioned when it happened, Nate Tanner only has one more challenge available, but that one he used correctly, and it was important.
Ended up getting 7 points on the board. Here's Belcher with his kickoff. Not quite as good as the first one. It's fielded inside the 10-yard line. Stumbling down, the return man for Nitro. That was Porter who lost his footing.
Correct. That drive by Princeton, 9 plays, 57 yards, took 2 minutes and 34 seconds to end it. The Brad Mosser touchdown.
All on the ground. You saw Cox run it. You saw the quarterback Barker run it. You saw Mosser take it in. First down for Nitro at its own 14-yard line. As we're midway through the first quarter, Princeton has scored first. Ian Duffy with Ratcliffe in the backfield. 3 receivers in the formation. Give it to Ratcliffe. He throws through a hole. Ratcliffe dragged down across the 20. And that tackle landed Crane, the inside linebacker for Princeton.
Good hard running by Chris Ratcliffe right up the middle. Good blocking up front for that offensive line of the Wildcats.
Got through the arm tackle of Meadows. Brought down by Crane. And it's a gain of 8. Second down and short coming up. See the massive Duran Parks there, left tackle.
That's the way to describe him, that's for certain.
Back to pass, Duffy looking, heading towards the sidelines. He will throw it away. And that pass well over the head of Burnett. Incomplete, no chance for Burnett on this near sidelines to reel that one in. Third down coming up for Princeton.
Certainly Boone McKinney likes throwing the ball. They've had 9 plays, 6 of them have been passing attempts, 3 have been on the ground.
Duffy 3 of 6 in the early going, 42 yards, third down and short. Well, give it to Ratcliffe. He gets tripped up, but on second effort, he dove forward. This is going to be close, but he's going to be short.
How about Wyatt Klein just reaching out, tripping him up as he got close to that first down marker.
Needed 2, got 1. It is fourth down. And Nitro's going to punt.
Yeah, too early in the game not to. Boone McKinney shaking his head on the far side. Just wishing for one more yard, but that's the game of football. It can be close at times.
Nitro will kick it away. Mosser back deep. And it's Radcliffe that drops back the punt. Nitro looks like they're coming after it. We've got a whistle.
Dead ball. Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 players in the formation. That 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
There's a gift. Christmas early.
Yeah, and you hate to be number 22 who's running off. Everybody can look at him now. They had 12 out there.
Nitro was ready to punt, but the illegal substitution penalty on Princeton gives the Wildcats a first down.
You've been around this game a long time. Sometimes penalties like that don't mean a whole lot, but sometimes they really hurt. That time, you give the team that it was opposed against the ball right back. Another opportunity of 4 new downs.
First down by a penalty. There's a running play again. Radcliffe trapped in the backfield and brought down. A tackle for loss. That was Kaiser again, coming from the defensive line. He wrapped up the ball carrier Radcliffe and dropped him down.
Well, that's a textbook tackle. No arm tackling there. Kalen Kaiser just wrapped him up down around the ankles. He wasn't going anywhere.
Loss of 2 on the play. Second down and long. Malachi Thompson has 2 catches in the game. He's wide to the right. As the snap comes back, they look that direction. Here comes the blitz. Duffy's going to be sacked inside the 20-yard line. The sack of the quarterback. And that's the first one tonight for Princeton.
John David Meadows, a 6-foot senior, 245, was not letting him go anywhere.
Meadows, the senior, with the sack of the quarterback, and it's 3rd and 19. Third and long for Nitro. See if they can dig out of this hole. Snap comes back. Duffy looks. Duffy will throw it deep down the middle. That pass broken up by Mosser. Mosser back in coverage. They double covered Malachi Thompson. And Mosser reached up, got a hand on it, broke that play up, and now Nitro will punt.
Well, there's no secret that the Princeton Tigers are going to be double-teaming Malachi Thompson. And they've got black jerseys all around him.
Thompson up between 2 defenders, one of them being Mosser.
TV timeout after this.
Ashton Jones, the cornerback, back there as well. Princeton again looks like they're coming after this punt. They do come after it. He gets it away. It'll bounce. And Mosser better get away from it. He does. It bounced in Princeton's side of the field and rolled out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So Princeton scores first in the ball game. They get it back with 2:54 left in this first quarter. Tigers up by 7. Special thanks to all of our sponsors that helps Metro News and the SSAC present coverage of these high school championship events. We hope you enjoy our coverage on Metro News Television. As we're late in the first quarter, big crowd from Princeton.
What is it about the song Cotton Eye Joe that makes everybody want to stand up and clap their hands?
Yeah, it makes people go crazy. It makes
saw
people
you
lose
doing
their
it.
minds.
Come on, you were doing it. Be honest.
Princeton with a 7-0 lead and the football here late in the first. Here comes Mosser in motion through the formation. The give, though, is to Cox. And not much there. Cox pushed back. Some interesting stats so far. Princeton has outgained Nitro 57-42. All of Nitro's yards are passing yards. They have 0 net rushing yards. All of Princeton's yardage are rushing yards. They have no passing yards.
Yeah, totally 2 different ball clubs, the way they approach things.
There's Princeton's first completed pass, 4 yardage, and it's a first down. And Klein refuses to go down. They say he lost the football, but it's going to be a first down. It stays with Princeton. First down, Nitro, inside the 45 at the 44. That's a 12-yard gain. And again, the first passing yards of the game for Chance Barker and Princeton. First down, Tigers. Fake the handoff to Mosser. Mosser throws a block. Now, they throw the ball away. Mosser was in the vicinity, fired it way over his head, but Nitro heating up the quarterback there as he had to get rid of it.
Yeah, you could tell Wyatt Klein was sprinting to try to get to the area where he thought the football was going to land, and they explained that to Larry McCloy to make sure it wasn't intentional grounding. And everything's good.
Second down and 10 coming up.
Well, they're getting some pressure. They are getting some pressure from that Nitro line and those linebackers. They're coming.
Barker had retreated about 15 yards. Now they check with the sidelines again. Clock stopped after that incomplete pass. Snap to Barker. Barker to throw again. Right side. Great catch by Mosser, but he lost it. Went up, had it in his hands, lost it on the way down, incomplete.
Well thrown football, no question, by Chance Barker, but right where Brad Mosser needed it to be to go up between three defenders. He just couldn't hang on to it. Good defensive coverage that time. In sticking his hand in there is J.Lee Burnett.
Third down and 10. Passing situation here. Three receivers to the right. Mosser in the slot. They fake the throwback, and now Barker's going to run. Barker trying to get to the outside. Barker inside the 40, and they run him out of bounds. Barker on the scramble, got something out of nothing, and it's still going to be fourth down. They put it down at the 43, and they're going to go for it on fourth down. Hand it off to Mosser. Mosser pushing forward, pushing the pile. He's got the first down. Still pushing. Almost to the 30-yard line. There was a massive scrum, and he pushed that pile about 3 yards forward. That was all after he got the first down.
Got a little help from his friends, that's for certain.
There is a flag down. If the play stands, it's a converted fourth down for Princeton.
Illegal substitution. Defense, number 59. That penalty has been declined. The resulting play, first down.
Princeton will take the first down. Call at the 31. Princeton up 7-0, looking to add to the lead. Wyatt Klein wide to the right. They're moving Mosser all over the field. They shift him to the left side. Three receivers, including Campbell, the wide man. Barker takes the snap. It is a bad one. It is still loose. Barker tries to get it. He can't. Nitro has it. Nitro recovers the fumble back at the 49-yard line. Nitro got to the loose ball, and it was Smith who landed on the football. Princeton turns it over. Nitro will have it right near midfield. Bad snap. It got knocked around a couple of times. Barker thought he had it. It slipped out again, and Smith recovers the fumble. The errant snap, it was actually closer to the man in the backfield than it was to the quarterback. Jake Belcher had a shot at it, but neither could corral it. If Nitro could take advantage of the turnover. Ian Duffy back to work. He drops back, scrambles to his left. He's got room to run. Duffy will go out of bounds at the 42. And that's a 9-yard gain on the scramble for the Nitro quarterback.
Well, he pulled that one down quickly when he couldn't find anyone open downfield. Smart move by Ian Duffy.
Less than a minute to go in this first quarter. Malachi Thompson, a receiver to the right. Slot receiver that way is Schaefer.
Kyle, this is a big offensive line for the Nitro Wildcats.
You're right. It's not just Parks.
No.
And a running play. This is Burnett. He slips through a hole.
Ball taken away.
Well, the ball's out of there.
Yeah, it's taken away.
The ball is loose. The ball came loose. And the officials, I believe, are going to rule that one down.
He just ripped it out into his hands. Landon Crane. Was the runner down? I didn't think the runner was down, but
I think we might have a flag on the play as well.
I never did hear a whistle blowing the play dead.
Here's Larry McCloy.
The result of the play is forward progress to stop. After the play, dead ball, personal foul. Defense, dead ball, personal foul. Offense, those penalties will offset. Second down.
So forward progress was stopped. Nitro's going to keep the football.
I get my hearing fixed. I never did hear a whistle, but the one was blown.
That ball was ripped out of there, you're right.
Yeah.
But they claim the forward progress was stopped. It was the Princeton player, Landon Crane, who reached in there and ripped it out. Here's another carry for Radcliffe. Not much there. As they grab him down low and bring him down. Kaiser on the stop. And that could be the final play of the first quarter. We'll see if Nitro wants to try and squeeze off another play. It's going to be third down. 2-down territory for the Wildcats. They head towards the line of scrimmage. And the game clock is at 5 seconds. And they will allow time to expire here in the first quarter. Princeton's got the only score, Brad Mosser, but Nitro is on the move. They face a 3rd and 5 from the 36 of Princeton when we return with play. First play from scrimmage in the second quarter coming up. As we begin the second quarter, Nitro sets up the screen as the flag flies. Here's Radcliffe down the sidelines. He's pushed out of bounds. That's going to draw another flag. As he was shoved out of bounds near that track, Wyatt Klein will get the second penalty as he shoved Radcliffe out. But we've got a penalty marker down closer to the line of scrimmage. We've got an injured Princeton player down as well as they race from the near sideline to the far sideline. So a lot to sort out here. Penalty flag at the 38-yard line, and a penalty flag out of bounds where Radcliffe was shoved to the track over there.
Yeah, he was well out of bounds when Wyatt Klein shoved him. He went scooting across the track.
The biggest concern is the injured Princeton player down.
Larry McCloy.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. On the offense, dead ball, personal foul, defense, number 5. After enforcement, it'll result in a first down. Officials timeout for an injury.
The injured player is up and walking back over on his own power. That's Ashton Jones.
Speaking of injuries, an update on our very own Joe Bricado.
Yeah, Joe Bricado shooting the game, shooting highlights during the AA game today, Frankfurt at Bluefield. He was hit out of bounds with his camera and took a spill, and they took every precaution. And we understand that Joe's okay and probably watching and listening to us, Fred, from his hotel room.
I know, no
So
doubt
that's
he
great
is.
news.
And I'll say this openly, he's much tougher than I am.
First down for Nitro after the penalty. And here's a running play. This is Porter who gets the ball and close to another first down.
I don't know about you, Kyle, but I keep waiting for one of these teams just to break loose, do something explosive, because that's the way their season has been.
Crane with the stop. And Porter with a 9-yard gain. Second down and 1. Ball at the 17-yard line. Nitro in the red zone trying to tie this one up. Give it to Porter again, trying to dance outside. This time they wrestle it down, although he looks to have a first down.
Porter, only a sophomore, but very athletic kid. 5'9", 160 pounds.
Tackled by Klein, but it is first down run. Porter with 9 yards on 3 carries now. First down, Nitro at the 14-yard line. Just over 1 minute gone here in the second quarter. Handed to Radcliffe. Radcliffe spinning around. He'll take it to the 9. Gain of 5 yards there for Radcliffe.
Well, Chris Radcliffe hits that hole quickly. Gets about as much yardage as he can before he runs into that secondary.
Got another injured Princeton player. Down flat on his back right where the tackle was made. As they race out there again, that's going to stop the clock with 10:43 left in the second quarter. 7-0 Princeton leading Nitro, but Nitro on the move. We'll check on that injury when we return. We're back after this. Second down coming up for Nitro, again trying to get the game tied. They've got the ball inside the Princeton 10-yard line. 2nd and 5 at the 9. And the injured player was Damian Thomas, big senior nose guard for Princeton. He got up and got to the sidelines under his own power. Nitro ready again. Handed off to Radcliffe. Radcliffe gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. It's going to be 3rd down for Nitro.
Well, you could have seen that opening right around the edge. You had a lot of green carpet to run on. He ran into a couple of Princeton tacklers that put him down.
Key 3rd down play here. Fred, the expectation was for this game was a lot of offense, but both of these teams are very, very good defensively as well.
Yeah, we heard a lot about the offense and not that much about the defense. You didn't think too much about it when they were scoring all those points. And now 2 great offensive teams meet up, and guess what? The defense showed up.
3rd down and 4 out of the shotgun. They're going to run Radcliffe again. He gets hit, and he is stopped. Landon Crane, the inside linebacker. They've got a whistle, though. Did that play count? Looked like we may have had a timeout.
Timeout. Princeton.
Timeout.
Their
Princeton.
first charge timeout of the half.
That cost them a little bit as they got the stop there defensively.
Yeah, Brady Klein really shoved Radcliffe about 3 yards back in the air.
We're going to have a repeat of 3rd down coming up. Nitro with Duffy, 3 of 7 passing in the early going. They've got a running game.
They do. Well, they've been very, very impressive. But I'm like you. I've been so impressed with the front of each team's defensive line. I mean, they have just done a remarkable job. Because you've got some very, very talented, skilled people on both sides of the ball. But it is the defense that has showed up tonight so far.
Nitro being able to run the ball 33 yards on this drive. Radcliffe 22 yards on the ground. And you had Porter get a couple of carries in there as well. So Nitro has outgained Princeton now. 75-65. Nitro trying to punch it in. They face a 3rd down and 4 from inside the Princeton 10-yard line. Nitro and Princeton, they are meeting for the first time since 2010. Princeton won that last matchup 40-30, although Nitro has won 5 of the previous 7 matchups.
Yeah, they won the first 5, in fact.
Princeton did. 3rd down play. Duffy, they blitz it, and he goes for the end zone. That pass is caught. It's a touchdown. Nitro on the board. The grab by Burnett. That's his 7th touchdown of the year. And Burnett, the senior, he makes the grab, and Nitro an extra point away from tying the game. Great job to stay in bounds. And a strike fired by Duffy, his 39th touchdown pass of the year. It's like he kept that left foot in bounds. There's the extra point. It is up, and it is good. The extra point added. And we are tied early in the second quarter. Nitro 7 and Princeton 7. 7-7 on Burnett's touchdown grab. Very, very close play.
Did he
As
have
he looked
control?
the ball in, he had control. It's just a matter of whether he got that foot in bounds or not. And it's too late to challenge. They kicked the extra point, so.
Looks like the right foot, though, was in the air when he went out of bounds.
The points are on the scoreboard. They're going to stay there. Nitro will kick it off. Princeton coach Nathan Tanner's already used one of his challenge flags, one of his challenge opportunities, and that was a good one, as it maintained possession for Princeton, and they would eventually come around to score. There's the kickoff. It's returned by Coatney, and he's hit, driven back. The possession for Princeton with 9:26 left in this first half. 7-7 the score. Coatney brought it up over the 20 to the 21. A look at the Princeton offense once again. He had all kinds of points in the AA game today. 49-42. Frankfurt was a winner over Bluefield.
How about Chance Parker? Only 1 of 3 in this ballgame so far for 13 yards.
Princeton was really running the ball effectively early on. We'll see if they can get some balance. As they've got 3 receivers to the right. They're going to run it again. And this is Cox. Cox hemmed in, nowhere to go. Knocked down back at the 15-yard line. And it's Cohen Lusher, the lead pursuer there. Lusher with 53 total tackles. Tackle for loss there. Back at the 15, second down and long for Princeton. Now they check with the sidelines again. Moss, the slot receiver. He's to the right of the quarterback. Snap comes back to Barker. He looks. He will throw it up, incomplete, intended for Mosser. Double coverage again. At about the 25-yard line. Incomplete and third down coming up.
Both defenders had really a good shot at that ball.
Dawson Hill and Malik Brown in on coverage for Nitro. Princeton faces a third down. They shift Mosser to the left side. Malik Brown giving him about a 6-yard cushion. Nitro empties the backfield. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. On a key third down play. Snap back to Barker. He drops straight back. And he will get sacked back inside the 5-yard line. The sack of the quarterback. Xavier Patterson finished him off. He had some help back there. Huge sack for the Nitro defense.
Yeah, Nitro's defense up front in particular. It's some of the big guys getting through to make that sack. And it's just a matter of somebody's beating somebody else on that line. And so far, Nitro's defense has been very, very impressive, particularly on this drive. The drive 3 plays, they lost 14 yards, took a minute and 1.
McAllister got to him first. Patterson finished him off. Here's the punt out of the end zone. And it's a short one, but it's going to take a Princeton bounce. Bounced inside the 30 and will be down at about the 38-yard line. So Nitro with great field position. Great job defensively. McAllister and Patterson combined for the sack. Princeton has the punt in the end zone.
Much momentum, but right now you've got to believe it's with the Nitro Wildcats.
No question. Nitro scored the last touchdown, tied the game. Now they've got great field position to start this drive at the Princeton 38. Nitro back on offense. 3 to the left, single receiver right. That's Thompson wide to the right. There's a dump-off pass. Looked like a check down and a good gain for the Wildcats. Down to about the 30-yard line.
They got about 8 on that. They hadn't grabbed the back of the jersey of Tyke Porter, he might have had more.
Porter with 27 catches on the year. And then second down coming up for Nitro, trying to take the lead. There's a running play, a tackle for loss there for Nitro. Running up the back. of the ball carrier Ratliff. That's 7. Lost back to the 32.
Isaiah Sullivan, 6'3", 210-pound junior. Shows some great speed. Getting in on that tackle.
Nitro quickly facing the 3rd down. Thompson sent wide to the right. Thompson's got 2 catches tonight. They came very early on. Snap back Duffy. Duffy throws left. And a good catch. Nope, they say incomplete.
It hit the surface. Good call by both officials right on it.
Diving for it. Burnett tried to get those hands underneath the ball. And the right call made. That ball off the turf. So 4th down for Nitro. They'll keep the offense out there. At the 32-yard line. 4th down and 4 for the Wildcats. 2 receivers either side. Ratliff in the backfield. Snap back to Duffy. Duffy throws over the middle. Pass caught. It's going to be a 1st down. Here's Burnett on the run. Burnett will dive down at the 21-yard line. And a gain of 11. The catch and run for Burnett. He's got the touchdown. And now a key 1st down grab for Nitro. Burnett running all the way across the field.
Very fortunate that time. When he got up, he threw the ball down on the turf and spun it.
Yeah.
The official was reaching for the flag, but he didn't throw it. So
Tackled by Jones, and here's a running play for Ratliff. Ratliff goes down after a short gain.
Ian Duffy, 6 of 11 passing for 70 yards. Rushing the Nitro Wildcats, 15 carries, only 31 yards. So through the air is where they have been effective, and they throw in that occasional rush just to change things up a little bit. On the other side, it's just been Princeton passing 1 of 4 for just 13 yards. They only have 38 yards rushing.
No gain on that play. Nitro's going to shift personnel late. They get off the field. There's only 5 seconds left on the play clock. It's at 2. It's at 1. Timeout. Nitro decided to, again, shift the personnel. And it'll cost them a timeout. They take the timeout with 5:14 on the clock. 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 20-yard line. Nitro. Again, that J.R. House game in 1998, 10 touchdown passes. They win that one. And then in 2005,
Much closer game.
yeah, an overtime loss to Morgantown. And it was Garrett Bradley hit a 30-yard field goal in overtime to put Morgantown in front, and the Mohegans recovered a fumble in overtime to seal that victory.
That was the last state championship Morgantown had won until
So
yesterday.
yesterday, Morgantown a winner over Martinsburg for the Quad A State Championship. Nitro improving in recent years under head coach Boone McKinney. And they're in the championship game here with a chance to take the lead in the 2nd quarter.
If you're a high school football fan and you haven't watched these games, you've missed out, because this weekend has been full of great games. Looks like this one's going to be right there.
7-7 to score. Again, the defense is shining. Nitro facing a 2nd down. They bring their big back into the game. Wing to the right. Here's play action and a slant that's incomplete. Intended for Wyatt Klein. Incomplete. Down inside the 15-yard line. Now it's 3rd down for Nitro.
Brad Musser in on the stop that time for the Princeton Tigers. It almost looked like to me if Brad had went for the interception and not the tackle, he would have got the interception because the ball was right there.
3rd down for Nitro. Let's go down on the field to Jeff.
Okay, Kyle, you know, Princeton's been in this position before in the semis against Spring Valley. They stopped Spring Valley 3 times in the red zone. We're going to try to do it right now against Nitro.
Ball right at the 20-yard line. 3rd down play coming up. Snap back. Duffy looks to throw. They get over the middle. Pass caught. right at the 10-yard line to grab for the first down. It was made by Radcliffe out of the backfield. And Nitro converts. It's going to be first and goal. The hit laid by Mosser, but not until Radcliffe made the catch and got the first down.
That's the first target of the night, Chris Radcliffe, and he comes through and picks up those 8 yards.
There's a running play, Porter. Porter gets gobbled up. He'll go down. Damian Thomas right on top of him. No gain on the first down play. Second down and goal coming up for Nitro. Nowhere for Porter to go, and Thomas was there. Nitro's brought C.J. Lovejoy into the contest.
It appears that right now Nitro is just using that running game to keep everyone honest along that front line. Those linebackers keep them in. For Princeton, it's been the passing. Ian Duffy, 7 of 13.
Duffy to throw again. Starts right, comes back left, still looking. He lobs it in the end zone, back corner. And they say he was out of bounds. Schaefer made the catch, but he was out of bounds. So it'll be third down coming up.
Well, that time, Ian Duffy rolling to the far side, and his momentum kind of carried him a little too far. We got a penalty flag thrown on the top.
Penalty flag thrown outside the hash marks here on the near side. And they'll get together and discuss this one.
I'm going against Nitro. They're talking with Nathan Tanner from Princeton. But he wants to decline or accept the penalty.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So they'll take the yardage, repeat second down. They'll push the ball back to the 13. Good scramble. Receiver getting out of bounds. Penalty for the eligible receiver.
One receiver in the area for Nitro. There were 5 defenders with black shirts on.
Second down and 14 now. Duffy ready. They blitz from the edge. Nitro picks it up. There's another flag. Duffy on the run. He'll go out of bounds at the 4. But a flag down back at the 14-yard line. Stops the clock with 3:54 left.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. Part of the foul. Replay.
Larry Floyd's getting more mic time than you and I, huh?
Back-to-back penalties. You watch Parks with the pancake there, and then he goes down on top of the Princeton defender. For Parks, North Carolina recruit, he is flagged for the hold.
That's not technically holding in my book. That's just trouble trying to get up off the turf. When you're that big, you don't just pop right up, you know?
That's smothering.
That's exactly what it is.
Line of scrimmage now to 24. And repeat second down again. We'll see if Nitro can overcome back-to-back penalties. And there's the tap play. Running left. That's Schaefer with the football. Princeton strings it out. They ran the Tavon tap play to Luke Schaefer. Came in motion. Came back to the left, and the Princeton defense had an answer. In fact, another negative yardage play. Back to the 28-yard line.
Nitro 2 of 6. Third down conversions tonight. This is a big one.
Third down and 28. Duffy will set. Duffy throws it deep. That pass is deflected away. Mosser in coverage. Intended for Schaefer. Fourth down for Nitro.
Well, great job that time by Brad Mosser.
Mosser went up and broke the play up. Nitro in a bit of no man's land here. Can't kick a field goal. Would do you any good to punt. It is 4th and goal from the 28-yard line. Well, they'll take another shot at the end zone here. The blocking back, Lovejoy came out in favor of an extra receiver. 2 to either side, 4th down and long. Duffy drops back. Duffy throws it for the end zone against double coverage. That one batted away again. So as Jeff pointed out, Princeton very good in the red zone defensively, and they hold Nitro off again. Of course, Nitro committed a couple of penalties in there.
Yeah, that time defensively, Wyatt Klein was back. That's throwing into a tight double team, and Wyatt Klein goes up and bats the ball away.
Ball back to Princeton in this 7-7 game. 3:02 left in the first half. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Princeton offense, they will huddle up. JoJo Campbell was the last guy to get out there on the field. Princeton empties the backfield. Here comes Bosser, and they'll hand it to him. Bosser trying to get outside of the left. He's hit, driven back. Nothing doing there. Good defensive play again by Nitro. That's Wyatt Sowers. Number 2 tackler on the team. Up over 100 tackles on the year.
Total yards right now, Nitro 108. Princeton 51.
A loss on that play. 2nd down and 13. Ball back at the 25-yard line. You think if Nitro stops them here, they might use one of their timeouts. Here's a screen to the right, and it's caught by Klein. Klein lost the football. That football popped out of there over near the sidelines, and it went out of bounds.
Boy, very fortunate that time for the Princeton Tigers. That was clearly going to be a fumble. The ball went directly out of bounds.
Injured Princeton player again. The right guard, Jimmy Bowling, is down. Bowling making his 41st start. This is a very experienced Princeton offensive line. As that ball again goes out of bounds after it popped out of there. So Bowling has to come out. You've got Bowling, Colton Shockley, and Landon Moore. 2 seniors and a junior. They're all making their 41st career start tonight in the state championship game.
Yeah, this is a very veteran-laden ball club. This is the year they were looking to. Last year, they thought they had a really, really good shot, and they did. But they lost in the semifinals to Herbert Hoover, 35-12. This year, they changed a few things, got a new head coach, and they're in the championship game.
Tariq Williams, a junior, in there on the offensive line. There's a wide open receiver near sideline. That pass is caught by Justice. Justice close to a first down. He brings it up near the 40-yard line. On the rollout,
He just shy, maybe about a yard.
Parker finding the wide open Corbin Justice. So 4th down and a yard here, and Princeton keeps that offense out there. Clock is running, 1:45 to go. Again, each team with 2 timeouts. We'll see if they try to draw them offside. 4th and 1 from Princeton's 37-yard line.
Pretty good chance here.
Play clock down to 5. It's down to 4. They take the snap. They give it to Mosser. Mosser gets the first down. Mosser struggling forward up to the 44. Princeton converts on 4th down. And stop the clock briefly. 1:23 left. Princeton ready to run the play. It's restarted down to 1:15. Snap back Barker. They set up the screen. Bosser catches. Bosser finds a seam into Nitro territory. And he goes out of bounds. Out at the 42. Bosser converted on 4th down. He split 2 defenders there and raced into Nitro territory. They actually spotted down inside the 40. Down at about the 38. 1:07 left in the half. Handed off, running left. Again out of bounds at the 31-yard line. And a run for Jake Belcher. Out of bounds with exactly 1 minute to play here in the half.
Got out of bounds by Malachi Thompson that time.
There is just not a lot of room, not a lot of turf there out of bounds before you get to that track. Belcher ended up on the track.
They're going quick again, Kyle.
There's the snap, hand off to Mosser. Mosser gets grabbed, drugged literally. One of the big guys, Xavier Patterson, who's headed for Morgan State. He stopped him and then drug him a bit. Now Mosser's struggling. Patterson slung him around and dragged him by his jersey, and now Mosser's down in a heap.
And Princeton fans didn't like that too much. He's down. Now he's really down.
So Mosser down. That is Mosser with the trainers tending to him at the 37-yard line. It'll be third down coming up. 3rd and 9. The line of scrimmage to Nitro 37. 43 seconds left in the first half as we're tied at 7.
Mosser gets up. He's going to run it off. He's not coming out. He's going to come out of the game for a play. That's it. He wants back in there, you know. He's limping pretty bad coming off the field.
And he might be done here for this half.
Very well be.
He comes all the way to the benches on this near sideline. Jake Belcher in the game. 3rd down and 9 for Princeton from the Nitro 37. They restart the clock. Princeton still with 2 timeouts. They throw back left. That pass caught. Slipping a tackle. That's Campbell. Campbell has the sidelines. Cuts back to the numbers. Campbell down inside the 15. And Princeton will use a timeout here, I believe, or they're going to spike it. They stop the clock. They'll move the chains. 23 seconds left. Great catch and run by JoJo Campbell. And they're going to run a play. They hand it off. Belcher goes nowhere. Now they'll have to use a timeout. It's running. It's down to 13. It's down to 12. And the clock stops. So 2nd down coming up for Princeton. Time for maybe 2 plays here. Barker started right, came back left. Campbell nearly stumbled. Then he got free and got the sideline.
Just got away from Malachi Thompson, which would have been a very short gain if Malachi was able to make the tackle. One thing is for certain, and I know I've been to Princeton many, many times, there cannot be very many folks left in the town of Princeton. Most of them are here in Charleston tonight.
12 seconds left. Jeff, what do you have?
Okay, Mosser came over, right ankle. They're working on it. He got up after they just dealt with it for a few seconds and trying to get back in that huddle. So I think he'll be in on this next play, guys.
12 seconds left. Got another injured Princeton player there, one of the linemen. And that's Jimmy Bolin. And it looks like he's done, at least for this half. And Mosser's back out there. Mosser, 7 rushing attempts, 10 yards and a touchdown. He's got 1 reception. So Mosser slot to the right. 3 receivers to that side. 12 seconds left in this 2nd quarter. Princeton trying to break the tie. Snap back Barker. Barker has time. Barker fires. Pass caught. Touchdown Princeton. That's justice.
They're waving it off. So he did not have control and he didn't drop it.
Wow, he had the ball right at the goal line.
It looked good to me, you know.
Lost that football. A bullet by Barker. Reached behind him and fumbled the ball. Lost it.
Never had control.
He had it until he didn't. So 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 11. Excellent route there. Got him open. Barker to throw again. Barker spins. There's a flag that's likely to hold. And Barker's going to go down as time expires. Another sack of Barker back at the 29-yard line. And Shamar Smith got it there. And if this is a hold, the first half will come to an end.
Holding offense, number 55. That penalty has been declined. That is halftime.
Halftime in a 7-7 game. And let's go down to Jeff.
Okay, Coach. Great stand by your defense. You did that many times, several times against the Spring Valley, stopping in the red zone, and then you had a pretty good drive here at the end of the half.
Yeah, I was glad how our kids responded there to some adversity. Turned the ball over. I thought we were going to be able to get some momentum going right there, but turned the rock over, and our kids stood strong defensively, so proud of them. Shame we couldn't come out with some points there at the end, but get the ball coming out after halftime.
Okay, Coach Stacy, appreciate it. Thanks.
Coach Nathan Tanner got Parkersburg South to a state championship game, and back in his home area of Princeton, went to Concord University, and now coaching the Princeton Tigers, and he's in a good one here. Princeton and Nitro tied up at 7 at the half.
Quickly, Greg, on this game, 7-7 defense. We talked a lot about the offense, and then we said, well, the defense is going to step up, and they have for both of these teams.
Yeah, they have, and there's been a bit of a filling out process, and there's been some problematic penalties on both sides, but a couple times the defenses have bent but haven't broken, and that was exactly the case for Nitro at the end of the half there. They come up with a big stop after the Tigers had gotten into the red zone. Looked like Princeton might be primed for the go-ahead score, and instead this thing stays tied at 7. So it's anybody's game.
Yeah, anybody's game. Huge crowd to watch it, and as we've come to expect over the last 2 days, we've got heroics to come in this second half. We have the second half coming up. It is Nitro and Princeton. That'll be just in a few minutes.
Game, Nitro and Princeton. Will show you how we got here. Nitro getting Malachi Thompson involved early with a couple of catches in the first quarter. You saw Schaefer there. Duffy with his elusiveness, but couldn't get away all the time. Alex Cox with a big run for Princeton. That set up Brad Mosser, his 45th touchdown of the year, but the Nitro defense was outstanding, particularly in that second quarter. Xavier Patterson in on that sack. Nitro converts at the other end, the Burnett touchdown catch. Princeton had the last opportunity to score in the half. The big play by JoJo Campbell, but they would run out of time ultimately. Nitro with a sack on the final play of the second quarter. That kept us tied. And the first half stats, total yards about even, and penalties key at certain points. Nitro with an advantage in time of possession, but neither team has an advantage on the scoreboard. As we're set for the second half, Kyle Wiggs, along with the voice of high school sports in West Virginia, Greg Persinger, Jeff Jenkins is on the field, and Fred, again, we talked about the offense, but it's been the defensive units for both of these teams so far that have really stood out.
Yeah, you're right, Kyle. Think about this. For the Princeton Tigers, the fewest points they scored all year long, very first game of the season, and they scored 28 in a win over Capital. For the Nitro Wildcats, the fewest points they scored was in a loss, and that was still 14. That was the third game of the season against the Huskies of Herbert Hoover. So, again, when you look at these two ball clubs, and we still got a long ways to go, and who knows, the offense may come out after halftime and be ready to go. But it has certainly been the defense. We'll find out. Princeton gets the ball to start this third period of play, and you know Nathan Tanner and Boone McKinney both have been saying we need to get the offense moving.
Nitro won the toss pregame and elected to receive the football. Nitro had it first in the first half, so Princeton gets it first in the second half, and those coaches have got to be huddling with their staffs, and they've got to be saying on the Princeton side, how do we get Mosser involved more? And on that Nitro side, they got to be saying, how can we get Malachi Thompson involved more? So here we go, the run. And it's a bouncing kickoff that's fielded at the 35. So that's where Princeton will begin this third quarter of action.
Logan Whitaker just fell on the ball. Good field position to start this third quarter of play. They'll have it first and 10 at their own 35.
No time came off the clock there. So they're going to take a couple of seconds off, and Princeton's over the football. They're ready to go.
Now they're running defense in the press box, too.
4 receivers in the formation. 3 to the right. There we go, 11:58. Larry McCloy's happy, which means we're going to play. And the snap comes back to Barker. Foster in the backfield. They give it to him. And Nitro's going to string that play out. Tackle for loss. Hold him up, boys. Keep him from going down on that harder track surface. Nothing doing on the first play from scrimmage.
First one there, Malik Brown used his speed to slow him down. Then he got help from his buddies. It's defense again on this first play of the third quarter.
Negative yardage play, 2nd down and 12 coming up for Princeton. Just underway, third quarter in this tied game. Snap is back, fake the handoff. They throw it on the slant, it's caught. And it's going to be a first down catch. And again, that's Wyatt Klein, actually behind the sticks. They were behind the sticks there, gain of 7. So it'll be third down. Third down and 5 for Princeton on this first possession of the second half. Snap back to Barker. They fake the handoff again. Barker with time to throw. Flush to the sidelines. He throws it downfield. Foster was open. Spectacular. One-handed grab by Foster and a first down in Nitro territory at the 37-yard line.
That's the Brad Monster we've heard about all year long.
Foster went up with the right hand, hooked it in. And a first down Princeton. We'll see if that's a spark. Snap back Barker. Hand it to Foster. Looking for a hold. Gets hit hard and he goes down. Foster again going up. Brought it in against his face mask partially and held on to it.
Prettier plays we've seen in this tournament this weekend.
Second down play coming up. They fake the handoff to Marson. Barker to throw. Finds another open man at the 24. Rolling under that football. That's Klein.
And here goes tempo again by the Princeton Tigers.
Princeton to the line of scrimmage. First down at the Nitro 24. Princeton offense getting a spark from that Mosser catch. Snap back Barker. He looks right. He throws right. Oh, it's incomplete. And went off the hand of Klein. Nearly intercepted. We've got a flag down at the 15-yard line. Wyatt Klein tonight. He's leading Princeton with 4 receptions. And we'll sort out the penalty with just over 10 minutes to go, third quarter. And we've got an injury. A Nitro player flat on his back.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 9. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. That'll result in a first down.
Austin Hill with the infraction and an injury. The Nitro player up on his feet. He's going to get to the sidelines under his own power.
Seemingly Princeton is so much better offensively when they go with that tempo power.
That was Shamar Smith, the injured player. He got up off the field under his own power. Very, very chilly night here in the capital city. This first weekend in December.
We were chilly at noon. It's cold now.
You're right. Flat out cold.
Go flat out cold.
Line of scrimmage to 14 and a first down for Princeton. Mosser, receiver right. 2 to that side, 2 to the left. Snap back Barker. Barker, they set up the screen. It's caught, but it's read well. And Campbell made the catch and an excellent tackle by David Hill. Outside linebacker on coverage there.
Another junior on this defensive unit of the Nitro Wildcats.
Lost the yard, 2nd and 11. Third quarter clock ticking. Princeton with its first possession. We had one of the Nitro linemen jump. Was he drawn offside?
Well, I don't think he went offside. He just jumped. And
we got nothing. We're going to play through it. Snap back, Barker. Barker looks to throw. Barker rolling to his right, directing traffic. He throws incomplete, nearly intercepted. Jumping in front, breaking on the ball. The Nitro defender nearly came up with an interception. That was Malachi Thompson playing defense. It was intended for Klein. So Thompson had a quarterback position for the Nitro Wildcats. Third down and 11 coming up. Check with me on the sideline as the play comes up. Three receivers stacked to the right. Bosser, the third of those three. Barker's looking left. Barker throws. That pass incomplete. Incomplete. Intended for Campbell down inside the 5-yard line. Fourth down for Nitro.
Princeton wanting a penalty on that, but
Contact came after the ball flew past it. Hill again on coverage. And it is a fourth down coming up. They're going to attempt a field goal with Anthony Meadows. Barker, the holder, they'll spot it down at the 22-yard line. A 32-yard field goal attempt for the lead. Snap is back. It's a little bit high. They get it down. That kick is up, and it had no chance. Short and wide to the left. So the Nitro defense holds again as Princeton comes up empty. We remain tied with 9:13 to go third quarter. Princeton 7, Nitro 7. Nitro defense comes up with a stop just like it did at the end of the first half. Nitro defense gets the stop, and the Wildcats have the ball for the first time here in the second half. We're tied at 7. Wildcats come to the line of scrimmage. Empty out the backfield, set up a screen, it's dropped. Incomplete, intended for Thompson. A little bit low, down around the knees. He dropped it, incomplete, inside the 20-yard line.
And Duffy now 8 of 17 passing for 76 yards. Penalty flag on that last play.
So the Nitro defense again getting the stop at the end of the second quarter. They force a field goal attempt, which was no good by Princeton.
Checking with the Princeton sideline.
Illegal shift. Gets the offense. That penalty's been declined. Second down.
So Princeton takes the down.
Yeah, that's an easy call.
6 penalties on Nitro, 2 on Princeton. Seems like there's been more than that.
I thought so too.
Second and 10 from the 20-yard line. Again, they set up the screen left side. Breaking through the hole and closed up quickly. That was Radcliffe who made the catch. Advanced it up to the 25-yard line.
One thing we've noticed about both these defenses, you don't run through too many tackles. Once you're hit, you usually stay hit, stay down, because they get a lot of help if they need it. But some of these one-on-one tackles have been stupendous.
Short tackling on both sides, no doubt. Third down and 5 for Nitro. Play clock at 15 as the play comes in late. They get it to the huddle. Nitro to the line of scrimmage. Play clock's down to 5. Duffy takes the snap. Duffy rolls to his left near sideline. He throws. That pass caught. And breaking tackles. Running with the football. That's Schaefer. First down. Out to the 40-yard line. And Nitro moves the chains. 15-yard gain on the catch and run by Schaefer.
As soon as we talk about open field tackling, Princeton misses about 5 of them.
Duffy kept that play alive. And Schaefer with nice yardage after the catch. First down, the ball just outside the 40-yard line. Nitro to the line once again. Thompson to the right. 4 receivers as they set up the screen. Low pass caught by Radcliffe, but the Princeton defense is there. He's gang tackled and pushed back. They should give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage. Not much there for Radcliffe on the screen pass.
Brad Mosser leading the way on that tackle. Got a lot of help from his buddies.
No gain on that play. Again, with all these quick explosive players on the field, Greg, you're just waiting for somebody to break one.
You're right.
5 minutes gone, third quarter. We're tied at 7. Princeton shows blitz. They come up the middle, and there's a pass caught at the 49-yard line by Thompson, his third catch of the night.
Well, he's a nice target that can be found, that's for certain.
Gain of 7 on that play, third down and 3. They've got to get the ball into Princeton territory to get a first down. Third and short for Nitro. Twins to either side. Duffy awaits the snap. It is back. Handoff up the middle. He stopped short. Radcliffe. Decision time here for the Nitro Wildcats on fourth down.
Well, the team wants to go for it. Fourth and very short yardage. Boom, McKinney to the side. It looks like we're going to go for it, Kyle. Right at the 49-yard line.
Fourth and just a little more than a yard.
Nitro 1 of 3 fourth down conversions in this ball game so far.
Nitro to go for it on fourth down. And it's a direct snap. And he gets the first down. That's Radcliffe. Second effort, still pushing the pile. Radcliffe still moving. He's got the first down. He's going to end up dumped on the far sideline. Back in Nitro territory. The forward progress will give him the first down close to the 48 of Princeton. And a missed tackle in the backfield.
Jake Belcher.
And he dove at him and couldn't bring him down. First down at the 48 for Nitro. We're down to 5:20 to play in this third quarter. There's a running play for Porter. Porter with good yardage before he goes out of bounds. Close to another first down. So Nitro gambles on fourth down. They move the chains, and then Porter popped that one to the outside. Took it all the way to the sidelines, and he gained 9 yards on that play. Second down and 1 coming up. Porter with his 5th carry of the night. Second and short for Nitro. We'll see if they take a shot here. The quarterback Duffy. Play action. They will throw it deep. That ball is caught for a touchdown. That's Malachi Thompson. And Nitro's in front. 39-yard bomb from Duffy to Thompson. His 58th career touchdown, number 20 on the season.
You cannot throw a better pass. Malachi Thompson just had to run right under it. Beautifully thrown football by Ian Duffy.
2 defenders were there. Malachi Thompson just beat them both. And Nitro's in front. Connor Strickland in for the conversion. That kick is up. That kick is good. 5:06 to go, third quarter. And Nitro, after converting on fourth down, they hit the big play. Duffy to Thompson for the lead in the second half. Nitro's defense has stepped up. And the Wildcats convert on a fourth down. They keep this drive going. And it ends up covering 80 yards on 9 plays after the Princeton missed field goal. And Nitro is in front 14-7.
188 yards of total offense for the Nitro Wildcats. Compare that to 135 for the Princeton Tigers. Number of plays relatively close. 41 for Nitro, 38 for Princeton.
Connor Strickland just kicked the ball right out of bounds. So good field position for Princeton coming up. Duffy keeping that play alive. The completed pass to Schaefer. And Schaefer with good yardage after the catch. One pass to Thompson.
Out of that.
And a running play to Porter. And finally the long one to Thompson. He runs it down for the touchdown, putting Nitro in front.
Now he and Duffy 12 of 21, 145 yards, and both scores
Kickoff out of bounds, so Princeton will start at the 40-yard line. And Mosser will line up in the backfield along with Chance Barker. 14-7, Nitro in front, just over 5 minutes left in the third. Tight formation. They come in motion, high snap. He brings it down, hands it to Mosser. Mosser on the move, almost lost the football. Nearly had it stripped, but he hung on to it and took it just inside Nitro territory, down at the 49.
He lost one of his yellow gloves, and it looked like a penalty flag.
First down. Mosser to the quarterback's right. High snap again. This time, Barker's going to keep it. He's struck down. Good defensive play by Xavier Patterson. Gain of 1. High snap, and might have been a broken play ultimately, and Barker just decided to get what he could.
Oregon State's going to get a good player in Patterson.
Xavier Patterson, 8.5 sacks. Nitro came in as a defense with 56 sacks. They've got a couple tonight. And Nitro jumped offside. That's going to be encroachment. A couple of their linebackers were in there.
And you find yourself in no man's land like Braylon Price did. And you can't stop. They were coming on a full-out blitz.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 11, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Put it down at the 44. Princeton trying to tie the game. Receivers to the right, including Alex Cox. And the wide man is JoJo Campbell. Second down coming up for the Princeton Tigers. Snap comes back, fake to hand off Mosser. Caught on the slant. And this is Wyatt Klein. Klein goes down. Just shy of the first down, I believe. We'll see where they spot it. And we've got an injured Nitro player down. They spotted down at the 39. And by my view of it, that should be a first down. We'll check on the injured player. Nitro lineman down, it looked like. Fred, despite the fact that it's frigid. Well, I was going to say cramp, but maybe
No,
not.
it's not a cramp.
It is a first down. So a first down play for Princeton. The ball just inside the 39-yard line. And an injury timeout here. Nitro, one of the linemen here. Nitro has taken the lead. Touchdown reception by Malachi Thompson. His team leading 4th catch of the night.
Rushing has not been the strong suit of either one of these ball clubs. Right now, when you look at it, Nitro has 43 yards on the ground. Princeton has 41.
That's Deron Parks, who's going to struggle to get to the sideline. Well, he could put no weight on, looks like the left knee or the left ankle.
I feel bad for 2 guys trying to help him off. He's a big kid.
Yeah, he's really struggling here.
No weight at all on that left knee, left ankle. You don't want to speculate because you don't know, but you can tell he's in a lot of pain.
Parks in the game on defense, but obviously his strength is playing left tackle on the Nitro offensive line. And he comes off the field. First down for Princeton at the 39-yard line of Nitro. Nitro in front, 14-7. And Princeton trying to answer. Mosser, receiver to the right. They run Malik Brown up on coverage. Brown giving him about a 6-yard cushion. Now Mosser in motion. They'll line up to the quarterback's right. They shift the H back as well. Running play for Mosser, big hole, there he goes. Mosser to the 20. He steps through a tackle, he's going to score. Mosser races in from 39 yards out. How about that speed? Second touchdown of the night for Mosser. He ripped through that hole and outran the Nitro defense.
He went from 22 yards on the ground to 61 in about 3 seconds.
Got a flag down, it looks like.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the
Coming
backfield.
back.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. We will replay. First down.
That's a heartbreaker for the Princeton fans. Mosser took off like a shot, but it's all for naught. And the illegal formation, touchdown run comes back. So Princeton now facing a 1st and long, 1st and 15. The game clock at 3:29 here in quarter number 3. I'll run it with Mosser again. No such luck this time. He ran right into Antonio LaRose.
Yeah, he pulled him down from behind. Patterson in on the stop as well. Just grabbed him by the back of the jersey and wouldn't let him go.
2nd down and 15 for Princeton. That'll take the 3rd quarter clock down under 3 minutes. Walking back in for Princeton, Landon Crane is the H-back to the right. 3 receivers in the formation. Mosser sent in motion. Slot to the right. Snap back Barker. Barker looks over the middle. Pass caught. It'll be a 1st down. Klein is spun down at the 26-yard line. 18-yard gain for Princeton and a 1st down. Princeton trying to overcome the penalty that took points off the board. Nicely executed route by Klein. Here's Princeton. Here's Foster. Free again. Foster at the 5. Foster's in this time. No flags. It's going to count. Touchdown run from Foster. And for real, Princeton an extra point away from tying the game.
Boy, for a second there, Brad Mosser took his helmet off when he's still on the play surface. Immediately realized what he's done and put it right back on.
Foster burst through the hole. Yeah, came back left and just 2 incredible bursts of speed on these plays here in the 3rd quarter. The all-important conversion. The kick is up. That kick is good. Anthony Meadows, no, he missed it.
Yeah, missed it wide left.
Missed it, no good. So Nitro maintains the lead. Mosser on the bench taking a break. Off the upright. Let's go down to Jeff.
Okay, Kyle, they're working on LaRon Parks over here. It's the left knee that they've worked on. They've set him on a bench. They've tried to get some flexibility, tried to move it around a little bit. He was in a lot of pain at first. He's in less pain now, but now they're moving him inside the tent where it's a little warmer, and but he still can't put any weight on it. So not sure if he'll be back or not, but it is the left knee.
That does not look good for Deron Parks. I tell you what, Fred, that extra point didn't look good.
Oh, it did.
It wobbled and
Glanced
off the upright.
Left upright, and that's a huge point miss with, you 2:25 left in the 3rd quarter. This game's going to move into the 4th quarter here in just a couple of minutes, and that extra point could loom large.
Princeton will kick it off, trailing by 1. And it'll be Belcher who will kick things off. Late in the 3rd, a 1-point game. Princeton needs an 11th player on the field. And Bud Tipton, he runs out for the special teams assignment. 14-13, Nitro leading Princeton. Here's the kickoff. They're going to kick it deep. Returnable from the 7-yard line. Nitro on the return up to the 20. And that was Luke Schaefer who gathered it in and got decent yardage for Nitro. Wildcats with the ball late in the 3rd quarter, a 1-point lead.
Expect this ball game to be close. That last scoring drive, 6 plays, 60 yards, 2 minutes and 41 on possession. Ended in the touchdown by Brad Mawson.
Duffy tonight 145 yards through the air. Thompson and Burnett have the touchdown receptions. Start from the 20-yard line. There's the Princeton defense answering. J.E. Meadows with the stop of the Nitro ball carrier Radcliffe.
Both the defenses get to the running back as quick as you will see. When they're coming from the edge, coming right up the middle, they seemingly are in that backfield almost immediately.
No gain on that play. Passing situation here on second down. There's a deep shot left side, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Burnett, a little bit high. On coverage for Princeton, that was Alex Cox. Third down for Nitro.
That was the 8th target of the night for Burnett.
3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. Princeton's defense trying to get off the field. They try and reclaim momentum here. Duffy drops. They're after him. Flush to his left. He fires it up. It's intercepted. Picked off by Princeton at the 34-yard line. That interception by Landon Crane, the inside linebacker, who's played very, very well. Now a late flag comes in. After the play, the interception will count. We've got a flag near the Princeton sideline. Landon Crane comes up with the pick. Duffy scrambling left, threw back to his right.
Their first warning of the game. First down.
And the great pick by Crane, who reacted, came back for that football. So a sideline warning against Princeton on the celebration. Princeton has it back with a chance to retake the lead. First down at the Nitro 34.
Yeah, that was a tough pass try by Ian Duffy, throwing against his body with pressure coming. Just threw it a little short into an area where he couldn't do it.
Each team with a turnover. Give it to Mosser, right up the middle. Mosser stumbles down at about the 26-yard line. Gain of 7 on first down for Princeton. Closing in on the final minute of the third quarter. Give it to Mosser again. This time he stood up right at the line of scrimmage. They pushed the pile from behind. Mosser finally goes down. The football came out late, but they kept pushing and pushing. And they're going to spot it down at the 22-yard line. Make it the 23. And on the second effort, on the effort by the entire Princeton team as they pushed it forward, it's a first down.
Every tush was in on that push, I can tell you that.
40 seconds left in the third. And now, Nitro again jumps. They're going to allow the play to go on as the defender got back. Princeton wants the penalty. They better snap the ball. They're going to get a penalty on themselves.
There it is.
We've got whistles. Did they get the timeout?
No, they got the
Dead
delay.
ball.
No.
Delay game.
Delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Princeton looking to the sideline for the play is what cost them, Kyle. They thought they were going to get that encroachment, but the kid gets back before any type of a play is ever run. They should have just ran the play and they would have got the penalty.
So Princeton back on the ball. First down at 15. The game clock is stopped. The play clock is running. And now we're set to go. Snap is back. Hand off Mosser. Mosser at the 20. Mosser. And he gets through another tackle. Goes out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. So Mosser heating up here. Found that hole, ran right through it. Slipped the tackler, it goes out of bounds.
Say what you want. Some of the most beautiful production by our guys in the truck. You could see those holes. You could drive a truck through, trust me.
Give it to Mosser again. He takes it to the 5. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. Mosser scored a touchdown. Princeton missed the extra point. But the Tigers get a turnover, and they're right back down in scoring position. Princeton with a chance to take the lead when we return. Princeton on the move. They'll have it 2nd and 3 from the 5-yard line as we switch ends of the field. We begin the fourth quarter. Nitro clinging to a 1-point lead. Princeton got the turnover, and they marched right down the field with a chance to take the lead. Second down for the Tigers.
I like Brad Mosser here. What do you think?
Mosser in the backfield to the quarterback's right, and they've got motion. Flags fly from everywhere.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That is Princeton's left tackle, Zayden Nealon.
Need to say it. 6 people jumped and you picked me out.
Push it outside the 10. Second came off the clock there. And there, they reset it, so we're set to go again. Princeton can't get a first down. Here's Mosser. Mosser tries to punch it up inside. He'll take it back down to the original line of scrimmage. And he's down there. First play from scrimmage in the fourth quarter. Princeton going tempo here. Mosser remains to the quarterback's right. Give it to him again. Mosser breaks through a tackle to the goal line. Touchdown. Mosser has all 3 Princeton touchdowns. He stepped out of the tackle and took it in. And Princeton is in front 19-14.
He's just a tough kid. Just keep keeping those legs moving. Step through that tackle into the end zone.
Princeton will kick the extra point.
Little surprise for kicking the extra point?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It'll be Meadows out of the hold of Barker. It is down. The kick is up, and it is good. 25 seconds into the fourth quarter. Mosser has his 3rd touchdown. Princeton has the lead. Tigers 20, Nitro 14. Brad Mosser broke Don Collins' school record of 36 touchdowns. And Mosser has 3 tonight, including the go-ahead score here early in the fourth quarter. Mosser with 80 career touchdowns now. He's got 93 yards on the ground. He also has that spectacular one-handed pass reception, 1 of 2 catches. And Mosser exhibiting his speed here in the second half. Stepped out of a tackle and scored the go-ahead touchdown moments ago.
Nothing official. I was talking with an assistant coach before the game. He said, it seems to be that Bradley Mosser is leaning toward joining Don Collins at Concord University.
Here's the kickoff. Princeton receives it. And a good return up over the 40-yard line. So a good starting spot for Princeton. Or I should say for Nitro, an excellent return for Nitro's Tyke Porter.
Total yardage by, rushing yardage by the Princeton Tigers, 112. And Brad Mosser has 93.
So first down for Nitro at its own 44. 1-score game here. Princeton up 20-14. And the offenses have woken up a bit here in the second half. We were tied at 7 at the half. Ian Duffy back to pass. He's flushed. He throws. Great catch. Thompson into Princeton territory. Malachi Thompson went up and got it. Yards after the catch to the 44. And a first down for the Princeton Tigers.
Fifth catch of the night. Malachi Thompson, 79 yards. That's a touchdown receiving.
Nitro will huddle up. Plenty of time here on the play clock. Thompson sent wide right. The defender over there is Ashton Jones. Snap is back. They throw left. Coming back for the ball. Making the catch. That's Burnett. And Burnett dives down at the 36-yard line. Another good game for Nitro.
Jaleel Burnett is a really nice complementary pass receiver to Malachi Thompson because he got sure hands. He gets good yardage after the catch. Nice compliment to Malachi Thompson, Jaleel Burnett.
Gain of 8. 2nd and 2 from the 36. Nitro trailing here. Princeton shows blitz. Duffy gets rid of it. Thompson can't bring it down. Overthrown at the 28-yard line. Again, Ashton Jones on coverage.
Well in front of that coverage, too. Pass has been a little lower. Would have been a good gain for the Nitro Wildcats.
3rd down and 2. Nitro needs to worry about getting the first down here. Keeping this drive going. They've got Radcliffe in the backfield along with the quarterback, Ian Duffy.
Definitely 4-down territory, I would think. Trailing by 6.
Princeton creeps up, and there's flags flying. They'll blow it dead with 10:16 left in the game.
Go against Nitro, it would appear.
Dead ball. False start. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Now the penalty stacking up against Nitro now. That's the 8th. And it takes it from a 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. Outside the 40-yard line now. Four wides, 2 to either side. Radcliffe off the left hip of the quarterback. Duffy wants to throw. Duffy throws it deep down the middle, and there's contact that's going to be interference against Mosser. Flags flying everywhere. It was intended for Schaefer. And Mosser's going to be flagged for interference. He did glance back at the ball, but he wrapped him up.
Yeah, that's an easy pass interference call. And really a nice play by Luke Schaefer because he could tell that he wasn't going to get the ball.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. That'll result in a first down.
Slowed down his route, Kyle, just so Brad Mosser would run into it.
First down, Nitro, just outside the 25. Wildcats trailing by 6. Nitro brings in the freshman Lovejoy. H-back to the right. Snap to Duffy. Handoff. Hold up the middle. It closed up quickly, but Radcliffe stepped through it and took it to the 23. That's a short gain there.
Landon Crane in on the stop.
Down under 10 minutes left in this ballgame. We've had some classics on championship weekend down here in Charleston.
Here we are again.
Nitro to the line. Duffy to throw. Duffy will loft it for the end zone, and it is caught. It's a touchdown. Malachi Thompson again. Turned to the outside and reeled it in. Nitro ties the game. And they can take the lead with the extra point.
Princeton wanting pass interference and a little shove there.
No flag on the play. Nitro's going to line up for the extra point as we're tied at 20. You see Mosser saying, hey, a little bit of a shove there. Knocked my guy off balance. There's the all-important extra point. It is up, and it is good. Nitro retakes the lead on the Strickland extra point. It's the Wildcats 21, Princeton 20 as we go back and forth in the second half. Nitro answers the touchdown reception from Malachi Thompson. And then caps the drive. Ian Duffy doing a nice job keeping plays alive. Thompson with the catch. And then the grab to extend it further. In the end zone it goes. Thompson adjusts, comes down with the ball, and it's 21-20 after the Strickland extra point.
5 plays, 56 yards, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. The time of possession on that last scoring play. Ended with Malachi Thompson getting his second touchdown receiving in the ballgame.
9:27 to go. Princeton will get it back. And Strickland has it teed up.
114 yards receiving on 6 catches for Malachi Thompson and 2 scores tonight.
Thompson had the 5-touchdown game previously in the playoffs. And here's the kickoff. It's going to be taken right at the goal line. As Cox stepped right in front of Mosser, and Cox isn't going to get it to the 20. So Princeton with the football now, as the Tigers trail by a point.
Nitro, as Antonio LaRose, still down. Grabbed that left knee right during the tackle.
An injured Nitro player down. They wave the trainers out. Parks is out now. Antonio LaRose out for Nitro. As both are seated down there in the tent. And it's Princeton football with 9:19 to go. Nitro with a 1-point lead. They snap the ball and hand it off in the backfield. Not much there that time for Mosser. Give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage. Second down coming up.
Get any yardage on this Nitro defense. You have to find it around the edges or through the air.
Second down and 9. 20 touches in this game for Mosser. Make it 21. 19 carries and a couple of pass receptions. Now they flex him out to the left. Snap back Barker. Barker looking for Mosser over the middle and nearly intercepted. The defensive back stepped up, Malik Brown, and went through his hands and then passed Mosser incomplete. So it's third down for Princeton. Right through the hands of Brown.
Yeah. He knows it too.
Third down and 9. Princeton trying to convert. Third downs tonight. Princeton 4 of 8. They are 2 of 2 on 4th down. Snap back to Barker. Clean pocket. He throws over the middle. Mosser makes the catch. Mosser at the 40. Mosser into Nitro territory and out of bounds. Mosser got free over the middle. And Nitro converts. They'll spot it down at the 45. That's a 35-yard catch and run. On the bullet fired by Barker.
That's just total individual effort by Brad Mosser, because to get that 4 or 5 yard advantage, and that is a great defensive secondary from Nitro. I mean, it's just a great individual effort by Brad Mosser.
First down at the Nitro 45. There's an interception. Threw it behind Mosser. It is picked off. Racing the other way. The defensive back Brown and the turnover. It'll be Nitro ball inside the Princeton 20-yard line. Barker and Mosser not on the same page that time. Malik Brown did read it. He stepped up, made the interception, and a huge return for Nitro.
Yeah, Chance Barker, I assume, was thinking that Brad Mosser was going to stop and turn around. He just kept on running.
And it was Barker who made the tackle. A huge return for Malik Brown after that interception. And Nitro in a great position now, leading the game with a chance to tack onto that lead with just over 8 minutes to play. See if Princeton's defense can come up big. Nitro stopped Princeton on a couple of occasions deep in their territory. Here's the snap back and the running play. And breaking free, this is Radcliffe to the outside, to the goal line. Touchdown, Nitro. Radcliffe from 18 yards out. And just like that, Nitro gets the turnover. They punch it in with Radcliffe.
One play into the end zone for Chris Radcliffe.
Radcliffe with touchdown number 16 on the year.
And a great block by Mason Martin to spread it, get him open on that edge.
Nitro's going to take a timeout before the extra point. That's the first timeout called in this second half.
Mason Martin, a 5'11", 310-pound senior, but he really opened up that hole for Radcliffe to jump through on his way to the end zone.
Nitro leading by 7. They'll add the extra point here, or they'll attempt to add the extra point after the timeout. The interception, the return by Malik Brown. And on the very next play, Chris Radcliffe takes it in. Let's go down on the field to Jeff.
Yeah, Boo McKinney called that timeout, Kyle, because he's going to go for 2. Yeah. He's sending the offense back on there, so they're going to go for 2. They're going to try to make this a 9-point lead.
2-score game is what he would be doing with 8:05 left in the game. I think it's a wise play. He's up by 7 now.
The 2-point conversion attempt. They throw it in the end zone. And that pass, it is caught. 2-point conversion good. And the Nitro receiver races up the track. The Wildcats add the 2-point conversion.
Lee Burnett was the youngster he went to and put it right on the money for Burnett.
Burnett just inside the pylon. And about a 50-yard sprint up the track. It's a 29-20 advantage now for Nitro.
I thought he was taking the ball and going home, to be honest with you, because he was running down that track.
Malik Brown credited with a 43-yard return on the interception. And it set up Radcliffe's touchdown, and then Burnett on the 2-point conversion. 29-20, Nitro in front with 8:05 to play. Nitro trying to overcome some significant injuries suffered in the second half as well.
So big Deron Parks still over in that tent, the helmet off. Certainly they're not going to be back in the game. He and Antonio LaRose and most of the teammates are over there with them during that timeout. And now it's a 2-score game for the Princeton Tigers.
Nitro will kick it off. 8 minutes away from getting fitted for that championship ring.
That was Ian Duffy.
Not over yet, though.
No.
Especially with Mosser on the field. Mosser's going to let that one bounce into the end zone. So Princeton will try and drive 80 yards here. They need 2 scores in the final 8 minutes. Malik Brown read it perfectly. A 43-yard return. Tackled by the quarterback, Barker. was Duffy after the interception return. Duffy handing it off to Radcliffe, who takes it into the end zone. Radcliffe shedding tacklers. And then the two-point conversion added by Burnett. Princeton will try and answer here. Snap back to Barker. Barker throws it deep, and there's Mosser tripped up. That'll be an interference call. And it's the same duo, Malik Brown, trying to guard Mosser, and that time they got their legs tangled up. Brown tripped him, and that's pass interference.
Defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot will result in the first down.
15-yard penalty, first down at the 35 for Princeton. Still plenty of time in this game, 8 minutes left. A 9-point advantage for Nitro. 5 wides, empty backfield. They look to the sidelines again. Now they're set. Snap back, they set up the screen. It's caught by Cox. Cox lost the football. That football popped out of there, and Princeton got it back. Cox got hit. The ball popped out, and Campbell fell on it. Campbell recovers the fumble. It's a 1-yard gain. Ball at the 36. Empty backfield again. Snap to Barker. Barker fires right. Mosser's there. He makes the catch. Mosser in Nitro territory. It is a good catch at the 46. That's a 20-yard gain for Princeton.
We haven't seen Cass Barker's coach decline very much. Or Burnett, rather, the last couple of plays. It's always been trying to find, and I understand why you're trying to find Brad Mosser. I would be too.
Mosser 4 catches, 77 yards, 94 yards on the ground. 5 wide, snap back. Barker with time, looks left. Now back to the right. He approaches the sideline, stays in bounds, gets a few yards, and then goes out. Stops the clock with 7:06 to play. Got a little something out of nothing there.
They're going to bring up second down at about 9.
Line of scrimmage to 44. Into the game for Princeton, Landon Crane, the senior. Barker is ready. And now they check with the sideline. Play clock at 10.
The 58th play of the game for the Princeton Tigers.
Snap to Barker. Barker dances around. He fires. It's caught by Crane. He just checked into the game. Close to a first down. Ball at the 36-yard line of Nitro. We'll see where they spot it. They set it down just shy of the first down marker. So it's third and less than a yard. Crane, the senior, making the catch. Empty backfield again. Snap to Barker. They're going to throw it on third and short. They take a shot to Mosser. Mosser's there. He makes the catch and scores. Guarded by Brown. Mosser grabbed it. Got it into the end zone. Still a long way to go in this ball game. Brown can't believe it.
Yeah,
He thought he was right on it.
He just was about a half second too late swiping at it, and it got by him right into the hands of Brad Mosser.
29-26, Nitro's lead. Still 6:25 to play.
We need the play clock running, please.
Play clock starts late, and now Princeton's going to call a timeout. There was confusion they're going
Princeton.
for one, whether they're
Their
going for
first
two.
First timeout of the second
And
half.
Princeton uses what could be a very valuable timeout.
Yeah, you're right. But in my opinion, if you're sure of your kicker, you might as well get the one because it doesn't make any difference. That's going to get you within two. You're still going to be behind.
Foster and Malik Brown have been going at it all night long, and Foster won that battle.
But that has been a real competition between those two outstanding players.
4 touchdowns for Foster. Barker, you see his numbers. 225 yards. And he bounced back from the turnover and led the drive down the field. It's a 3-point game with 6:25 to go. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Foster again with 4 touchdowns in this contest. All 4 of them for Princeton. 48 on the year, 81 in his career. And here comes the Princeton offense back out there. They're going to go for 2. Trailing by 3. Direct snap to Mosser. Mosser, he'll race it in. 29-28, 2-point conversion, good with 6:25 to play.
I know why you go for 2. You got Brad Mosser there, you know? That's a pretty good percentage.
Mosser untouched into the end zone for 2. Now Princeton will kick it off, put it in the hands of the defense. Try and get the ball back, trailing by 1. This was a 7-7 game at the half. It has certainly opened up, particularly in this 4th quarter.
And now, Princeton is going to be asked to play their best defensive series of the season.
Huge crowd from Princeton. Last time they were in the finals, it was up in Wheeling, so a much shorter trip this time. And the Princeton fans having fun.
Yeah, Nathan Tanner mentioned that in our talks with him this week. He was thrilled it's here at Laidley Field, much closer to Mercer County than Ohio County is. And he felt like a lot more of those Princeton fans would travel, and boy, have they traveled.
Great showing for Nitro as well.
Yeah.
You see the Princeton fans on the press box side here at University of Charleston Stadium. Princeton will kick the ball off from the 40-yard line. Absolute classic state championship football games this weekend in Charleston. Here is the kickoff, a line drive boot. This one will roll down to the goal line, and it goes into the end zone. I believe the official indicated he waved his arm like it was going to be a touchback, but the return man for Nitro, Porter, grabbed it and ran it out to the 10-yard line. Princeton on that last drive. Another steady dose of Mosser. Sideline catch there. And then again, Barker keeping the play alive. That was a key play there for the player that checked into the game. They went right to him, landed green, and then the touchdown reception for Mosser. Now Princeton needs to get the ball back. Nitro try and run this 4th quarter clock out. Here's a running play right up the middle. Now Radcliffe is grabbed up high and brought down. 2nd down coming up for Nitro.
Okay, Belcher again on the stop. He played an outstanding game defensively.
Nitro's going to work the clock here. 5:55 on the game clock. 20 seconds on the play clock. Gain of 1 on that play. 2nd down and 9. Duffy will pass. They blitz him, and that ball looked like it was deflected. Caught by Porter. Porter gets a 1st down and more. Spinning at the 30 and out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
He barely got that ball over the outstretched arms of the defender.
That ball
was
tipped.
Yes.
It wasn't intended most likely for Porter, but Porter grabbed it and ran. down to the 33-yard line. Nitro running clock. The Wildcats come to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers in the formation. There's a running play. And that one's snuffed out. Radcliffe grabbed from behind and brought down. Line of scrimmage to 35, under 5.5 to play.
It would thrill Boone McKinney if he could keep the ball on the ground running and let that clock move. But Princeton defense up front in particular is just so tough to run against.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 35. That'll take us down under 5 minutes. Nitro clinging to a 1-point lead. H back to the right. 3 receivers in the formation. Snap back Duffy. Duffy looks left. Deflected ball again. Incomplete.
Big 3rd down coming up, Kyle.
Sellett reached up, got a piece of it again. Deflected it with the left arm. With the incomplete pass, the clock stops. Princeton gets a player off the field. 3rd down and 8. Nitro to the line. Porter in the game to the quarterback's right. They blitz it. They dump it off. That pass, it is intercepted by Princeton. They lit up the quarterback. He lobbed the ball up and Landon Crane came up with the interception. Princeton in business at the Nitro 33. Well, they might review that.
He got his hands under it, looked like.
If you're Boone McKinney, why not?
Yeah, you have to
take a shot at challenging that. They've got both their challenges left. Oh, that's close.
It doesn't look like he's going to throw it. Well, yeah, he's going to throw it. No, I don't blame it, like you said. You can't take them back. In fact, they take the flag from you, so you can't take it with you.
You're down under 5 minutes on a play like that.
Catch, no catch.
You got to use it. Potential turnover there. It looked like the nose of the football was on the turf. As Landon Crane had his arms around it. And Crane, of course, hoping that that play stands.
I think it was a good catch. It looked like he got his hands underneath it. Rex Foster was looking at this one since...
Well, Fred, I think the nose, the nose of the football.
Rex Foster is the replay official since Larry McCloy is the referee in this game. It looked like the nose of the football in that last replay. How about our truck, huh? I'm telling you, that's some of the best things in the world.
The Princeton defense putting heat on Ian Duffy and forcing that throw. There's another great look at it right here.
Right there. I'd say it's going to be, the call's going to be overruled, but we'll see what they say.
It was ruled an interception and a turnover on the field. We'll see if it's overturned, if there's enough evidence to overturn it. It appears that there might be.
They're certainly taking a long look at it. Again, Rex Foster's there. Wayne Ryan, Executive Director of the WVSSAC. Chris Wells, the Director in charge of football. Dan Comer right behind him.
Getting the look of the angles that we just saw. Crucial decision coming up here with 4:51 to play.
Rex Foster, a veteran official in his own right. And the decision going to be made. Okay, let's see what Larry McCloy has to say.
After review, the call on the field stands. It is an interception. First down.
Princeton fans erupt.
Wow.
Landon Crane with a good interception. it's going to be first down Princeton in Nitro territory. Crucial play in this ball game. And we'll see if Princeton can take advantage. 1 point lead for Nitro.
Landon Klein's been very happy right now. You think?
No doubt. This entire Princeton sidelines is ecstatic. They empty the backfield. Barker to throw. They're taking a shot at Mosser down the field. He makes the catch in the end zone. Nope. He rolled over and it came out. Mosser had it. He rolled over. That ball came out.
That would have been an unbelievable catch.
Mosser stumbling down, had it. Ended up on his back, and that ball popped out of there.
Yeah, you get hard on his back, and that's what brought the ball out. Boy, heck of a catch.
That defender flying over the top as well. David Hill had something with that ball coming out. 4:44 left. And we've got a timeout. Second down coming up from the 33-yard line. Well, Princeton has thrown the challenge flag to see if he indeed held it long enough.
The incomplete pass is under further review.
So this is Princeton's second challenge. Mosser had it in his hands, hit the ground with his arm first, and then rolled over onto his back, and that's when it came out. He has it secured, the elbow hits, he still has it secured, the defender flies over the top, and the ball comes out.
I would say this one is as close as the other one.
No question.
Yeah.
He has it. When his arm and his elbow hit the turf, he rolled over on his back. And again, that defender, David Hill, flew over the top. And that's when the ball came out.
Yeah.
When you see it there, Fred, that ball...
Ball was moving, though.
Yeah, the ball was coming out before the defender landed on it.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm not going to guess because I was wrong the last
Me
time.
too. I bet Rex Foster saying, I want you kids to get this right, man. I don't like this job. But is it instant replay perfect? I mean, that's, we're so lucky here in the state of West Virginia to have it. That was quick.
That was a much quicker look at that one. You're right.
It's going to be, how long field's going to stand?
I think you're right. I think it's going to be an incomplete pass.
That was quick.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The pass is incomplete. Second down.
And that's the final challenge for head coach Nate Tanner of Princeton. Bo McKinney still has one remaining.
He hits the ground, and that ball's coming out.
That was easy once you saw it again. It was close.
Second down for Princeton at the 33, 4:44 to go. Endless drama in these games this weekend from Charleston. There's a running play. Mosser in the backfield. Skips to the outside. Mosser gets the outside. Goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And that's an 8-yard gain. Third down and short coming up.
I think the old basketball movie that everyone's seen probably 100 times. Hoosiers. I got a feeling Malik Brown can tell you what kind of gum that Brad Moss is chewing. What do you think, huh? They have been so close tonight. Linked in on just about every play.
Third down and 2. Mosser in the backfield again as they check with the sidelines. The clock stopped with 4:38 to play. Four-man front for Nitro. Hand it to Mosser. Mosser gets the first down. Takes it inside the 20. Down to the 19. 6-yard gain. First down for Princeton. So if you're Princeton, you'd like to work as much of this off the clock as you can and not give Nitro too much time. Although they come to the line of scrimmage quickly. Hand off Mosser. Mosser battles forward. A gain down to about the 17-yard line. And that'll take us under 4 minutes.
Nice sportsmanship there by a couple of Nitro players to help Brad Monster up off the turf.
Mosser over 100 yards rushing in this game now. 2nd and 8 from the 17-yard line. Snap to Barker, fake the handoff, throw it out. Pass caught by Cox. Cox down the numbers, down inside the 5. Used Mosser as a decoy that time. They flicked it out to Cox, and Cox got great yardage. It's going to be 1st and goal, Princeton.
Nitro still with 2 timeouts left.
Up over the football. Give it to Mosser. Mosser spins, gets hit, goes down. 2nd down and goal coming up. Clock running, 3.5 to play. Nitro's got 2 timeouts remaining. Princeton taking its time now. They come set. Snap to Barker. Hand to Mosser. Mosser stiff arms a man. Mosser trying to get it to the end zone. He gets shoved. And he's in for the touchdown. Got it inside the pylon. Mosser scores again to put Princeton back in front. Mosser shed the tackler and hit the pylon.
Mosser now with 5 touchdowns on the night.
Princeton in front, 34-29, but Nitro's got plenty of time and 2 timeouts. Here's Meadows for the conversion, and Nitro runs offside.
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it by about 5 yards, right?
Now a discussion on whether they'll take the penalty, which I'm sure they will.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 5, half the distance to the goal, try for point.
Now do you try for 2?
I think you do.
I do too. That's why he took the penalty.
Make it a 7-point game.
That's right.
The play clock's not running. Nathan Tanner has a quick huddle. They send Barker back out there.
Good decision by Nate Tanner.
Princeton will go for 2. Try and make it a 7-point game. H-back left. Hand off Mosser. Mosser will take it in. 2-point conversion, 36-29 with 3:08 to go.
And that erases that missed extra point earlier in the game.
Now the ball in Nitro's court, down by a touchdown.
7 plays, 33 yards, a minute 43, and maybe the biggest touchdown Brad Mosser's career. But, as you mentioned, Kyle, 3:08's a lot of time for this Nitro offense.
Mosser getting his touches here in the second half. 24 rushing attempts, 5 pass receptions. 36-29, Princeton in front. One of these teams is going to celebrate a state championship. The other is going to be heartbroken. But what a battle tonight.
The longest scoring drive of this game for Nitro was 4:07. They've got 3:08.
There's Green's interception. The pass down the field to Mosser. That was broken up. Never fear, Mosser on the ground. Contributing on the drive was Cox. And then Mosser with the stiff arm, dives for the pylon. And they get the 2-point conversion to boot. 36-29. And Princeton will kick it off. Veteran players coming up big, including Crane. And here we go with the kickoff. of bounds. And it's picked up. Running with the football, Radcliffe. Radcliffe buried at the 30. So Nitro has 3 minutes to go 70 yards with a couple of timeouts. Try and get the game tied, 36-29. Nitro playing without his left tackle.
Illegal block below the waist. Receiving team, number 18. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, got the flag that's going to step him back. You see Deron Parks sitting in the tent, injured his knee on defense earlier in this game. So now Nitro has to go 90 yards. And we'll line things up. Princeton fans making noise in front of our broadcast position. Stephen Kinney, a sophomore, is the replacement left tackle for Nitro. Snap is back. Duffy throws over the middle, incomplete.
Penalty flag.
Yep, there was contact there. It was intended for Thompson. And he got hit from behind by the defensive player, Wyatt Klein.
You can see that clearly. He just kept waiting for the penalty flag to be thrown.
Thrown behind him, but there was contact.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty in the previous spot will result in the first down.
They get that 10 back plus 5.
All right. Takes it to the 25 with 2:57 left.
As much as we saw Brad Mosser on that last series, that's how much you're going to see Malachi Thompson on this one.
Thompson, 6 catches, 114 yards, and a touchdown. Princeton penalized for the 7th time tonight. Snap back, Duffy throws left, pass caught. Princeton's defense is there, and they tie up Burnett after the catch. Burnett gains about 5. Princeton will take that as the clock continues to run. Approaching 2.5 minutes. Second down coming up for Nitro. Thompson wide to the right. They've got a safety over there to help. Snap is back. Duffy rolling to his left, dumps it off, and it's dropped incomplete. Third down coming up. That one was intended for Porter.
Thank you, Porter. I think he took his eyes off of it because he's so close to the sideline. Make sure he was still in bounds and just missed the pass.
Great crowd tonight. One of the best we've seen in recent memory at the State High School Football Championship. Princeton and Nitro. 2:19 left. They send the personnel in for the third down play. They're going to double cover Thompson. Here's the snap. They throw left. Catching it. Going out of bounds is Burnett. He was right at the stick. And it's going to be a first down for Nitro.
Going to give him his fourth progress we had it because he stepped back. Got a little help from the Princeton Tigers, defensive back, Alex Cox.
First down at the 36. He goes out of bounds, stops the clock with 2:14 left. Porter, wide left, slot receiver to that side. Thompson's wide to the right. Duffy will run it this time. And he gets sandwiched down at the 42. Nitro has to hurry. Down under 2 minutes. Thompson's down on one knee. Now he gets back up.
Still with 2 timeouts. Nitro has time, but they're taking a lot of time.
1:45 left as they come to the line of scrimmage for the second down play. 3 to the left, snap back. Duffy will step up. Duffy looking, Duffy throwing, and it's caught in Princeton territory. Again, huge yards after the catch. He breaks free. Radcliffe down inside the 5. Chris Radcliffe did most of that after the catch.
Yeah, they seemingly had him, but he just kept running, and they never could bring him down.
Radcliffe got behind the defender, broke a tackle, and he raced down inside the 5-yard line. 1:27 left in the game, and we've got an injured player down. It looks like a Nitro player as he's in the end zone. Chris Radcliffe with a huge catch and run.
We'll mark him down at 3-yard line when play resumes. 1:27 remaining. Boom McKinney, you're going to score.
That's a 54-yard play, Fred, as we go down to Jeff.
Yeah, Kyle, I think he'll be okay. It looks like just the wind knocked out of him. May have landed on the ball there. He's going to get up here now.
That's Radcliffe who made the catch and the run. 54 yards to set up Nitro first and goal.
Back to my thought. 1:27, 36-29. Probably, if you don't make a mistake, you're going to score. Go for 2. State championship game. What's Boom McKinney decide to do there? I mean, he's got 2 key individuals hurt in this, right? And now you got Chris Radcliffe brothers that is going to be out of the game at least for this next play.
First and goal for Nitro. They set the ball down at the 3-yard line. Nitro will try and punch it in. Then the decision comes. Do you attempt to tie with the extra point or take the lead with the 2-point conversion? Radcliffe on the sideline. Porter in the game. To Duffy's left. Snap comes back. Hands it off Porter. Porter with the play strung out. He dives in the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, we're going to find out.
Here's your decision, Fred.
Yep.
36-35, Princeton in front. What a game as Nitro gets up off the deck. Great catch and run by Chris Radcliffe, and they're going to kick the extra point. Play for the tie. Connor Strickland in for the all-important conversion.
That's a tough decision to make either way, you know?
We're going to have a timeout.
I'm still thinking about it.
Timeout Nitro. 1:17 left.
I will bet you that half the coaches say go for 2, the other half on that side say, no, let's go for 1, you know? And it's up to Boom McKinney. He's the head coach.
Well, they had the kicker out there, Connor Strickland, and then they called the timeout.
You know the players want to go for 2.
2-point conversion would put Nitro in front. There's still 1:17 to go. The way the points have piled up here in the 4th quarter, these teams already
That's 3
have
plays,
combined
man.
they've combined for 44 points in this 4th quarter. Princeton's defense back out there. Here comes Nitro. It looks like
Their sticks was going for.
I think they changed their mind. They're going for 2. The offense out on the field. Porter switches from left to right. Nitro goes for 2 and the lead. Here's a throw in the end zone. That pass broken up. It is broken up by Princeton. Princeton maintains the lead. Nitro's got 1 timeout remaining. They'll kick the ball off. Princeton broke it up in the end zone.
A lot of black jerseys around that ball.
Had his hands on it. There was a collision. The ball popped free. 2-point conversion, no good.
That would have been a heck of a catch, wouldn't it? I mean, Jaleel Burnett, as you mentioned, had
Princeton's kicker, Connor Strickland, he was out on the field, but they called the timeout and sent the offense back out there. The two-point conversion, no good. Again, like you said, Fred, all of those injuries.
Yeah. I think that helped make his decision a little better. He's got 3 kids in that tent that have been out for a while. The biggest name being Deron Parks, committed to North Carolina. A couple of other really key players. Antonio LaRose played a heck of a game defensively.
Princeton's got the hands team up, expecting the onside kick. And Strickland will tee it up. 1:17 to go. As Princeton recovers the onside kick, Nitro can only stop the clock one time. He's got it on the tee. The run-up. It is a pooch kick. And it's going to be caught and downed by Princeton. Underneath the football, Rynell Coatney. As Princeton can run the final 1:17 off this clock. Nitro can stop it just once. Nitro got the touchdown, thought about the conversion, took a timeout, discussed it, sent the offense back out there, and then failed on the two-point conversion attempt. Barker makes sure he has 11. Here's the snap back. He'll wait until someone touches him. Now he takes the knee. And Nitro is not even going to bother. They're not going to use that final timeout. We tick down under 1 minute to play.
They're not going to delay what is now the inevitable. The Princeton Tigers are going to get their first ever state football championship.
Barker needs to take one more snap. An incredible finish to this one. They wait for the game clock to get under 40 seconds. Here's the snap. He takes the knee. And the celebration is on. The Princeton Tigers win their first ever state football championship. And the defense gets the stop on what would have been a go-ahead two-point conversion. Brad Mosser with an incredible game. And both teams got heated up offensively in the fourth quarter. But the Princeton defense got that one extra stop on the two-point conversion. Let's head down on the field to Jeff.
Okay, what? He's embracing here. Okay, hey, real quick. Wow. I mean, what a game. I mean, you knew it would be a slugfest with these guys, and that's what it was.
Yeah, it was. So I'm kind of speechless right now, but man, couldn't be more proud of these kids. Tonight was the epitome of who they are as people. I told them coming into tonight, they were prepared for the moment, and the team with the better people on the field was going to win. And man, they gritted it out. They're tough, resilient, just great kids. Love this group.
Talk about the interception that keyed the final drive for the touchdown. I mean, he jumped in there and got the interception.
It was huge. I think Crane had 2 picks tonight on screen passes. It's the epitome of who he is, man. Just great kid making plays.
And then Brad Mosser. I mean, what can you say? Big player, big game.
Brad. Find ways to get him the rock, and he does the rest. And man, we had to dig in the bag a little bit tonight and find ways to get it done, but they did.
And then turn around, look at here. Look at that. Princeton crowd. Unbelievable.
Yeah, special. I tell people there's no other place like that in the state, man.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank y'all.
Nathan Tanner celebrating Princeton's first ever state football championship. And Landon Crane races over to the crowd. And he's celebrating with his friends and family on this sideline. Mosser with 5 touchdowns. touchdowns, and the Princeton defense gets the stop on the two-point conversion. Stay with the Metro News television app. We've got continued post-game coverage coming up as Princeton will get the rings thanks to Foster and his teammates. 36-35 the final for Jeff Jenkins and Fred Persinger. I'm Kyle Wiggs. Thanks for watching the championships on Metro News.